into the darkness. Y'alls, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is the Solomon Project, where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. Let's get this thing going. Let me throw something out there because, all right, here's a financial disclaimer. That way you understand that I'm not offering financial advice. It's just for entertainment purposes only. Now that you've seen the disclaimer, it's out of the way. In the event that I have to bring up something related to finances. Yeah, so we may have a fifth member to the family, someone who's made the decision, and we're not talking about a young person now, but someone who, well, young to me, young overall, but not in their early 20s. So someone made a decision, someone that I spoke to recently made a decision to actually follow through and get started and enhance their life financially. That's what it is. It's an enhancement. When you make the decision to participate in the stock market, you are enhancing your financial future. Keep in mind that the stock market has been a tool for people to acquire wealth, maintain wealth, or enhance their wealth. Keeping in mind that these people utilize this tool responsibly, because there are a lot of people that don't use this tool responsibly. They approach it as if it were a casino. Now, anyone who's been taught by me or has had me as a mentor, they know that under no circumstance do I encourage people to approach the stock market like a casino. I don't do that. You can do whatever you want, of course. You control your access to the tool or the tool itself. You control how you're going to approach it. I'm just a voice that will encourage you to try to do things responsibly. That's it. That's my role. And of the 3 individuals whose accounts I've featured, we're up to 4. There's one that I never brought up yet. They've only been here for a month, but there might be a 5th coming on board now. And it's life changing for these people. AJ and CJ have money and they're in their 20s. AJ and CJ have money that they've never accumulated before without touching. That's significant. That's significant. So we may have a 5th member. I just have to wait and see if they follow through. If they follow through. And the follow through, it's so easy that it is embarrassing when somebody says, I didn't go through with it. At least I would be embarrassed to come back to somebody and tell them. Different from the time when a businessman who owned several businesses, who was a stockbroker himself, a graduate of Cambridge University in economics. I'm going to repeat that he's a graduate of economics out of Cambridge University. So we're talking top tier education, who happened to engage me while I was studying. I was studying to get my broker's license. And that's what encouraged him to approach me. And we got into a conversation. And he encouraged me to take some courses in order to enhance my knowledge into the world of investing in the stock market. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap at all. I had to come up with a down payment to get into the class, and it was in the thousands. At the time, I was I was juggling three jobs, three different jobs. So in my spare time, I was studying at a Starbucks. He noticed, he saw what I was, you could tell what I was reading by the cover. And what you need to do to get involved in the stock market is nowhere near as hard as trying to acquire your license to become a broker. Nowhere near it. Yet, you don't need to be a licensed broker to get involved in the stock market and profit. You don't need it. The difference was when there was a gap between the bid and the ask price. I'll explain this another day. But when there's a gap between the bid and the ask price, that gap is what I earned as a professional. When I went ahead and put in an order for a customer, that gap between the bid and the ask price, that's what I earned. But as a retail investor, that's what I paid, that gap. And depending on that gap between the bid and the ask price, it could be relatively cheap depending on the stock, depending on the volume of trade that occurs with that stock. But the amount of profit that you can make if you're responsible now, and this is nothing is guaranteed, it could be substantial over time. Over time. I don't encourage day trading at all. I also should stop showing you the company odium I'm drinking. They don't pay to advertise on my channel. So no free advertising, okay? Get that out. So we might have a fifth person. And in due time, they will realize the impact that participating in the market is going to have on their life. Now, initially, someone starts, and I hear this very often, hear about how people are afraid to engage in the market. I understand that 100%. Let me make sure my volume is working. I'm over here yapping away. Volume is working. go. Go over here and double check. Is that all right? Double check. I might hear it right now, bro. It's all bueno. I was, I was wondering. Take this off right quick. Whoa. You don't need that. You just need to hear. So rolling, bubbling. Can't tell. I can't tell. I don't know what's going on with this unit right here. This thing's acting up. Da, da, da. Oh, that's not it either. What the heck is going on in the thing, man? All right, it's working. We'll work it. Audio's working. Let me show some time. Yeah, I mean, so a common response that I hear from people is that they're afraid to get involved in the stock market because of all of the disasters that they've heard from people who have attempted to invest in the stock market. They probably got stock advice from people who are unqualified, people who had bad habits when dealing with the stock market. Azen Aiden, what's going on? So a lot of people, everything's good, man. Everything's good. I'm over here talking about how people are afraid to participate in the stock market, and I understand because, of course, the sensationalism when people are listening to news about the economy, about corporations going bankrupt and things like that, and scams that people get caught up with, pensions being bankrupted or brought down to zero because of malpractice, financial malpractice, and because the media makes money by sensationalizing things because they want to grab your attention. So there are certain things that grab people's attention quite easily, and it tends to be on the negative side. So, for example, right now, with the drama associated the with the tariffs between our allies, that's causing a major issue, and there's a domino effect. Eventually, the common person gets to hear it, but when they hear it, their interpretation doesn't include things that a retail investor should include when making a decision, or a person who's never participated in the stock market should include. But for that, you need to engage with people who have experience in investing and in business. It helps a great. It helps them so that they understand what to get involved with, how to get involved with it. So there's really no need to be afraid. You just need to get involved with people who have experience, have a track record. That would be nice. Someone who has a track record that they can demonstrate and show you, hey, listen, because everybody loses money. in the stock market. Warren Buffett lost tons of money in the stock market, yet he's one of the wealthiest people in the world. He acquired his wealth through investing. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about has to do with psychology in associate. Well, that's what economics is. Economics is really the psychology of how resources how resources are used. That's basically what economics is. Economics is not in the applied sciences like chemistry, biology, even though it uses math, but it's really more about the psychology of how human beings distribute resources. There's a better way, there's a more technical definition, but that's basically what it is. Our country, United States, 70% of our economy is based on consumption. I've made that point several times in the videos. So, so for our economy to thrive, people have to consume, people have to purchase, people have to buy as often as possible. So in our marketing here, we're constantly bombarded with advertising from when you're a child, constantly bombarded. And this marketing embeds certain things subconsciously. One of those things that it embeds subconsciously is to ensure that other people are reacting to the marketing the same way you are. So they want to encourage that you uh, impose, maybe, the type of reaction that you're supposed to have. Type of reaction that you're supposed to have. So when you see an item embedded in your subconscious mind, you want to encourage that person to hop on the bandwagon. What are you buying? You're buying Skippies? You're buying no name brand sneakers? So what's embedded in you subconsciously is that you address the fact that this person is not participating in the marketing where you're supposed to get name brand sneakers. You're supposed to get Reeboks, Nike, so on. Whether it be clothing, whether it be pots and pans, whether it be the brand of car. Subconsciously, you opine and try to get these people to hop on the bandwagon. Want to get that shirt with the logo, right? The guy on the horse playing polo. Because if somebody shows up with a gorilla, they're going to question what that is. And then they're going to have something negative to say about the fact that you chose to wear something that's not part of the hype. So that's embedded in you psychologically, subconsciously, and that's part of what's embedded in the market. Some people wake up and realize what's going on. Now, it doesn't mean you have to stop, but if you're going to reposition yourself financially and you want to come out of working class, middle class, then you're going to have to make a conscious effort to put that kind of thinking on hold, at least on hold, for a while. You can go back to name brand purchasing. If you want to reposition yourself financially, you got to put that on hold for a while. That type of thinking. Again, you have to become conscious that it's happening. So when you're in the presence of somebody who's wearing skippies, do you open your mouth and make a comment? You open your mouth and make a comment about how socially unacceptable them wearing skippies. Because if you do that, then you're doing exactly what that message that was embedded in your subconscious mind was meant to do. However, if you come across a person that's wearing skippies after you've woken up, after you've realized how that marketing embedded that, you may not say anything. And if you do say something, you might ask, well, how much did it cost? It cost me $20. Oh, $20. That's interesting. A pair of Nikes might have cost me 180. Pay 20. Now, do I need Nikes? For example, me, I'm a truck driver, right? See that? I need $150 pair of sneakers. What would I need $150 pair of sneakers? But this is the thought process after you realize how the marketing has manipulating your approach to your finance. I don't run up and down a basketball court for a living. I don't need high performance sneakers. I do my walks. I could do my walks in skippies. Am I nervous that other people are going to see me wearing skippies? Honestly, out here, nobody's looking at your feet. But maybe if you're going to school, maybe at work, maybe at the gym, you're concerned. Hey, what am I wearing? What do I have on my feet? What's everybody going to think about? Here we go again, hopping on the bandwagon. Peer pressure. That peer pressure is coming from that message that's embedded. But it's necessary for our culture here in the United States because, once again, our economy is dependent upon consumption. So the more you spend, the more you can flex. If you can flex, you keep people at bay or give them the impression that you want. Maybe there's an association with the level of power that you have also. Because if you're driving into a job in a hoopty, actually, one of the jobs that I held, because that's what I drive. I drive beaters. I don't. I've had coworkers tell me, "Why are you driving in that? You make enough money to get what everybody else here is getting. Why are you driving that old beater?" For me, it doesn't make financial sense to buy what you guys are buying. It doesn't make financial sense to me. You don't have to take it to that level. You don't have to. You could reposition yourself financially and give in to all those pressures. You can. You can give in to all those pressures. That's okay. That's cool. You can do that. All I'm saying is that if you are going to do it, reposition yourself so you're in a better place financially. That way, when their crises show up, you have the means to not go into panic mode, not have to be desperate. So you can take a moment in your life to make these necessary sacrifices so that you're in a better position. Because let's keep it real, crisis is always crises. A crisis occurs every so often. That's just a reality. That's a fact of life. Economies expand and they contract. And when they contract, people hurt. People get desperate. People go hungry. The question is, and the professor's always encouraging people to prepare themselves, always encouraging. And your preparation shouldn't just include what kind of food you stock in your refrigerator or in your basement or storage room. It shouldn't just be food. It shouldn't just be weapons to hunt with or to defend yourself with. It shouldn't just be that. It should be your finances as well. It should be your finances. It doesn't have to be forever. Not at all. You can take roughly 5 years of your life. 5 years of your life, make the necessary changes. After those 5 years are up, after you make that sacrifice, after you see that perhaps you've created an income stream that will duplicate whatever you're earning at your job, then maybe you can take a little off the top and start consuming like everybody else. So I am very happy. Well, I'll be even more happy once I confirm that I have a fifth member that has decided to improve their financial future. Once I confirm that, everything's all good. I'm gonna cut it off here. Hey, Aiden, thank you for coming in, and I'll catch everybody at another time. Hey, love, peace, and hair grease. Stay fresh, keep it moist, and keep it profitable. Oh, hold on, the professor's here. What happened? Says device is not connected. What happened? Professor, what happened? Did you leave? Professor, are you still here? Let me know. Yeah, I see the hello, but what happened? Did you try to connect and it didn't connect? Devices are not connected. What happened? Hold on a second, Professor. No, I don't know what happened. Can you try again, Professor? To click on the invite. Okay. There's something happened on my end. I guess. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Give it a try. I'm glad you showed up. Okay. Is it on my end? Oh, let me put up the invite again, just in case. Never know. Oh, no, it's this. No, something's wrong with it. Let me resend it. Try this new one. Yeah, try that new one. Oh, okay. I sent the new link just in case. Oh, okay. Yeah. Tell hubby I said thank you. You put on a put up a video on your other channel. I shared it on my community page. It had to do with customer being always. Oh, that's the mantra. Customer's always right. But you also made the point that not all money is good money, which is important. And right now in the trucking industry, it is ridiculous. There's so many people that accept bad money, and now most people in the industry are hurting because of that. Must be because of the influx of owner operators who really don't have a business sense. They're coming from being employee, and they keep the employee mentality and don't understand how to operate a business. So things have been, the rates have been depreciated more than likely as a result of that. The rates that shippers pay, or the rates that the brokers pay, owner operators have been decreasing because owner operators have been accepting much lower rates. So basically, we've been stepping on each other, and it's crazy because some of the some of the encounters that we have with brokers is not good. It's complicated. So it was important to put that out there. Okay, yeah, fine. Did I get hungry? I don't even know if I got hungry. Done with the odium. Okay, here we go. Now we're in there like swimwear. Professor!
Hello.
Awesome. You're in.
You didn't see that thing where it just said mute?
No, I'm a dunce. It was me. My husband giving me a
It's giving you that elbow to the forehead.
Yep, I'm like, no, don't leave. I just got on. I was watching the Potato King. I'm sorry. For some
Okay,
reason,
okay.
thought my microphone went out. I could see you talking, but couldn't hear you. And
Oh
it
my
was
goodness.
weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I was.
I forgot to click unmute. That's what it was.
Ha ha.
I'm not tech savvy. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not savvy at all. Hey, so that video that you put out in your other channel,
Which
what's
the
the name?
Evergreen?
What's the name of that? The Evergreen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Not all money is good money.
It's not.
I'm glad you put that out there because I reposted it in my community page because that's
Oh wow.
important.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an important point that you brought home. Very important point, and I'm glad you did that. There, like I was saying before, in this industry, we're pretty much stepping on each other's toes because we're accepting bad money. A lot of truck drivers who are owner operators, or lease operators, they're accepting bad money. The rates have been getting lower and lower, and too many owner operators are accepting lower and lower rates. They can't
Wow.
afford to do that. What they're doing is, I suspect that it's the mindset. They're coming into the industry, they're purchasing their trucks and they're starting their own business by purchasing their own trucks. They don't have a business mindset. They don't understand. They're not incorporating their cost of operation when taking on loads. So the rates have been they're competing, but to the downside, right?
Right.
Which wanna this is one of the critiques that I have for uh, what do you call these people? What's Rand Paul? Rand Paul is a
I think he's an exhibitionist. Now that's the word I use for him.
right, but in terms of his
He's a
the economic policies that he follows, he's a libertarian. Right. There we go.
yes, that's where it is. Yeah.
So my critique with libertarians is that they have this crazy view, or they project this crazy idea that if you just leave businesses alone, they'll resolve everything on their own. Nobody has to get involved. And I definitely don't believe
Yeah, like
it.
Larry Elder.
Larry Elder, Ayn Rand.
Yep. You froze on me, Mr. Burns. You froze on me, Mr. Burns. I like the loud typing. Oh wow, you've gained another sub. I wonder where Brandon of Palm Beach is right now. Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Caw. You know, I hear the Dominican food is awesome. We can talk about that another time, but that's what I've heard.
You hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you now. Yay.
Yeah, my computer got so incredibly hot, it was shutting me out. I have to put frost on to get the record.
See, people are saying that you shouldn't knock somebody's hustle. Speaking of that video, but just because you can make money off certain things doesn't mean that you should.
Right. Well, how about in the hood? Is there a circumstance like that? How about those people out there selling pharmaceuticals, those street pharmaceuticals, as Zeke calls them?
Yep.
Does that mean that is that the type of thing that you can sell and not necessarily the type of thing you should sell? That's an example, no?
When you and I were growing up, there was just a known thing on the street that you didn't sell to mothers and children. Now, this new
Right.
generation, they have no qualms. They'll get 12-year-olds to sell for them and teach them how to pew pew people.
Yeah.
Kids were off limits,
Off limits.
off limits. Period. Babies, everything. You got
Mhm.
ostracized if you accidentally shot a child or a baby. I mean, pew pew.
Oh,
Sorry, pew pew.
even if you approach the child with something like that, ostracized, they did more than ostracize.
Oh, I know. I was just
Yeah.
trying to downplay it for the sake of
Oh, okay.
YouTube. But you know
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
absolutely.
that in the 80s. Children didn't just come up as casualties in that. And if you did it even by accident, you better run, hide, leave the city. It was that type of thing.
Leave.
Or you won't
Leave.
see the light of the next day.
No, you won't. Yeah, and not only are they including minors, but they're encouraging that stuff through their entertainment.
Remember that one kid in, I think it was Chicago, Yummy Sandifer. It was somewhere in
Yummy.
the north. He was that 11-year-old boy who was unalived by two other black boys who have since got out of prison. That was the turning point because Yummy had followers who were under 11 called Little Yummies that did all of his dirty work for him. When
Say,
you and I were kids, that was inconceivable.
it was.
It was so bad, I think it made time. That kid made his funeral made Times Magazine.
Wow.
And it's only gotten worse. These people don't care. Then I see some older woman at a funeral, older black woman, let's twerk for my N-word, and was about to twerk, and somebody to tell her you can't twerk on that
What?
man's coffin. Yeah, they was getting ready to bury him. Like, let's twerk for my N-word. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
The standards have gone even lower.
What's sad for me is that woman looked older than me. She had to be in her 50s and 60s, which means she knew better. Or you would think she knows better.
Right. You're supposed to. You're supposed to know better.
All money's not good money.
Oh, it is.
Just like, remember when T.I. had that temporary show trying to help people, that rapper, and he took that young kid to the coffin of a young guy who was his same age selling drugs, and how the mortician had a hard time putting the man's head back together because it had practically got blown off in a drug deal. And he showed the kid, look, he's like, I want to look. And they said, look at what happened to him for doing the same thing you're doing now. The game has never been fair, but it's sure it. Now they'll take you out in a minute and not think about it.
They'll take you out.
They'll just take you out.
Life doesn't have the same value anymore.
It doesn't.
And it's encouraged through our entertainers. I've been amazed because sometimes I get these videos on YouTube as I'm surfing about one rapper getting smoked by another rapper who's getting smoked by another.
Yep.
It's incredible. They come on, they make their videos insulting their ops, right?
Yep.
Insulting their competitors, and they're acting out. They're acting out. And this is supposed to, and that's supposed to be amongst them, amongst other rappers, that's supposed to be a rite of passage practically.
It's a saying that if you are in rap or hip hop and you get big, you can never go back to your hometown. You really can't. Even Boosie, that rapper, he hard headed. He's still trying to stay in Baton Rouge, but people have put hits on him. You can't go back. Yeah, you can't go back.
I think the only person that was successful at doing that was MC Hammer.
That's very, and I've heard too, there's rumors in Oakland that people want to call Hammer corny. I've been told the rumor, you don't want to go to his face and tell him that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, because he got people in Oakland who will mess you up. He for real is kind of a gangster.
Yeah.
He just knows how to play that persona up in public, but in private, he knows enough people in Oakland that will mess you up.
Right.
So don't step at him in Oakland the wrong way. He's the only one that I know of.
Yeah. Because Master P is from New Orleans, right?
Yep. I don't think anybody messes with him either, though.
Is he back, though? I don't think he's back. Is he back in his old neighborhood? No.
That's a good question. I don't think too many people mess with Nas up in New York either.
No, Nas is not one to be played with. There was an interview with Snoop Dogg.
Yep.
And while Nas was out in California, Snoop Dogg let the people around him from LA know that that Nas, they had the wrong impression. Like the people around Snoop Dogg had the wrong impression of Nas. They thought he was somebody that they could just do whatever. And there was an exchange, and after the exchange, Snoop Dogg said he came to the realization that these people around him were absolutely wrong. He realized that Nas not the one to mess with.
Yep.
50 Cent is like that too.
Oh yeah, come to think of it, you don't hear of nobody in New York messing with 50 Cent.
No, they tried. I think it was 6 shots.
but very few of them can be that way. Didn't some guy just get a life sentence for taking a rapper out from his hometown?
Yeah, which one? Because there's a lot
I
of them
got
now.
because so many. There was one year where Vlad TV mentioned that over 20 rappers in a year went out in their hometowns. That equals somebody don't like your success. When you make that type money, you just got to get your stuff. You just got to chalk up your losses and go on with your life.
You got to keep it moving, or
I'm not,
relocate, or
or
something.
do something. Just like I already know when I go back to Alabama, I have to sneak in there.
Yeah,
And people
and
are
they're not
scared
even,
of.
and they're not trying to take your head off either.
That's what I mean. And I still have to sneak in there. Ain't nobody a threat to me, but I still have to sneak in and then sneak out.
Yup, yup. That's insane.
Yep.
There are people out here like that, like you said, they can't deal with your success. I got into a confrontation with somebody recently.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, somebody else's channel on the live. It got nasty. Listen, I was out of character. There was some name call. I was out of character for how I present myself on YouTube. It was
Oh.
uncharacteristic. Yeah, there was some name call. Nasty name
Oh.
call. Yeah,
Oh.
there was some mother effort back and forth. Uh, I don't remember that it didn't get to the point where anybody was threatening, but there were some ugly words, people. Right?
Right.
And I sat back and I was trying to think about because it was to me it was a learning session. It was interesting, or it was a confirmation of, or I don't know if I could say confirmation, but anyway, I was able to identify what was going on in that exchange. It was a person who had experience in a subject matter. Now, this is something that I've encountered many times before. Because when you encounter people that have a particular profession have or has a proficiency in a certain area,
Right.
they try to take that proficiency in that area and spread it out to other areas.
Right.
And in some cases, they find it hard because I guess it's a blow to their ego. They find it hard when somebody outside of whatever profession they're in has has a viewpoint that's substantiated with information, and I guess sometimes their ego is hurt or challenged,
Right.
and they lashed out, and that's what happened here. Now, I recall back in the early '90s, I got into a debate with a family member who's a doctor. Family member is a doctor. We're talking about healthcare.
Right.
I'm not a doctor. However, I'm proficient in history and in economics. And the conversation had to do more with economics than anything else. But
Right.
it had to do with the economics associated with healthcare. In that, Iguala, hey brother. Listen, the link is there if you want to join. Feel free to come on in. So, of course, that family member had the full rank, right?
Oh wow. Yep.
Right. I'm the doctor. We're talking about healthcare. Yeah, we are talking about it. However, we're talking about the economics associated with it. not the practice. That didn't sit well with them.
Right.
Okay, we'll be here waiting. Yeah, that didn't sit well, and I attribute that to the ego taking a shot because, hey, when somebody has that type of title,
Right.
MD, you better look out, right? Move
Right.
out the way. Who are you? You didn't even finish college. I didn't. I didn't finish college. I got up to my third year and I got out. Okay, cool. Well, so, but me being who I am, however I'm described, I held my ground. They were saying healthcare is going to become socialized. And I said, not in this country, are they?
No.
So we went back and forth on it. That was back in the early 90s. It's 2025. I guess I won that argument. But that happens. And that's what happened with this individual on that live. They are now. What is in the military? What is OEO or OEI or I don't know. What is that? You know
Talking
what I'm
about
talking about?
rank.
I guess
Now, for the Navy, I can break it down. And O1 is an ensign. That's what you are as the
that's an
lowest.
officer. No,
Correct. That's what you are commissioned as coming out of the
second
Naval
lieutenant.
Academy. Same thing, equivalent, either second lieutenant or what we call an ensign. Then there's a lieutenant junior grade, that's O2. Then lieutenant is O3. Then O4 is lieutenant commander. That's what I call the point of no return. Once you
Ooh,
make it to that rank, the O4 in the Navy, they'll protect you at all costs because they're literally planning you most of the time for O5, which is commander. Then
okay.
06 is captain. Then from there, you're in admiral territory.
Ooh-wee. Now you're serious. Rear
Yep.
admiral, right?
Yep, you're a rear admiral lower half starting off.
That's a hell of a title. Rear admiral. I wouldn't want that title. Uh, but okay, so yeah, it had to do with the current state of the armed forces here in the United States. So I
Uh-oh.
made a comment. Yeah, I made a comment, and I never served. The most I ever did was paramilitary. Not counting that. However, I do have family that, as you know,
Yep.
I have the family that served. And I made a comment about the current state of the armed forces, and he got very defensive. I'm calling it defensive. He may not say that he got. I'm
I get what you're
I'm
saying.
calling it. Yeah. And I was saying that there uh, there's a possibility that there could be uh, a different structure to how the military will function because not everybody in the military is true. And you can correct me because you were in the Navy, but what I'm saying is that not everybody is true to the oath to the Constitution. They do
They're
it, but they're not true to that. And I'm afraid that there's enough that are looking for the right word or right words. They're more inclined to be loyal to a person and not the Constitution. You get what I'm saying?
oh yeah, there's a lot of that.
But this gentleman got very defensive, and he was claiming that the idea that there could be a change the type of change that I was describing, I'm not going to describe it here, but the type of change that I was describing was impossible.
No, it's not.
Exactly.
You never know what a person's doing. If they don't look like they're overtly trying something, you don't know what they're really doing. If they don't give a reason for suspicion, they can be off doing anything on their off time and you wouldn't know it.
I already know. Listen, I had an encounter with a Navy, not a Navy, an Army veteran. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
had an encounter with an Army veteran. Came close to the fist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they are a not very desirable part of a community that's against our community. Say it
Right.
that way.
Okay.
Okay, they're a part of that community. Okay, and basically, yeah, it was going to come to blows. It was going to come to blows, and you know, he was the type of individual that would have been extremely comfortable wearing a white sheet over their head. Get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into that in a minute, too. It's a
Yeah.
well-known thing that those people join to learn that stuff to prepare for a quote non-quote race war. When I first came on the boat, the John C. Stennis, they brought on a master chief, which is the highest rank you can get enlisted. He's a Filipino. And he told me, because they called us by our last names. He's like, Williams, because that's my maiden name. Do you know why I'm on this boat? I'm on this boat to investigate, because at that time the Stennis would not bring on a lot of black higher enlisted people. And he's like, I was brought here to investigate the racism on this boat. Now, he wasn't supposed to tell me this.
Okay.
But he said,
But you kept it real, I imagine.
Yeah.
You kept it.
And because I grew up in racist Alabama, he understood that I was old enough to. But by the time he was leaving, more black people were coming in rank and no one cared.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the John C. Stennis was a racist Mississippi senator. And that's who that boat was named after. So you can read between the lines that undercover skinheads wanted to be on a carrier named after a racist senator.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of them were in those clean, crisp uniforms discriminating against people. Now, mind you, when I was coming on board, it was already starting to change. But that guy told me, being high ranking, I'm on the boat for this reason. They come in, get that military training, understand the system so that they can turn on it one day. I know a white guy I see now that told me at my last duty station on shore duty after I came off the boat, said, Tara, you look what I'm trying to tell you. It's an increase in neo-Nazi skinheads joining the armed forces because they're preparing for a race war. And they want that training.
Well, I alluded to that.
I bet they was mad at you, but it's the truth. It was the truth, though.
Mad. There was a sense of pride on his end that I understood.
Yep.
Because he was true to that oath.
So was I, but I wasn't stupid. I knew a racist when I saw it too.
Apparently, this person's under the impression that everything's under control.
That's a lie. Then why did y'all have to come back and now say women have to serve? I'm telling you what's going to happen, because these Gen Z aren't trying to join. Mm-hmm. I think the United States is going to eventually do a forced conscription. You're too old for them to call anyway. Don't take that the wrong way.
No, hey, I'm glad.
Yep.
I don't listen. The only time I ever thought about joining, the only time that I was never into that, was when my brother was deployed to Iraq back in the Gulf War, and I felt guilty that I was drinking my ass off, partying while my while, while my brother while my brother could potentially get wiped out. I felt bad, and I went to a recruiter. I was genuinely going to join because of that. But by the time I went there, the war was over. So, hey.
Hey, yep, I don't blame you. My sister,
Well,
for some reason, went to Iraq and came back, talked to me about it a little. I don't remember what she said. The Afghanistan was a different monster. She came back from Afghanistan in 2011 and hasn't spoken to me since.
really?
I'm dead. I don't know what I did to her.
Same branch?
Yep.
She was
But
Navy also?
yep. And I had told her because she was approached by the Air Force. I said, I will financially take care of you. I'm telling you, you want to go Air Force and not Navy. And she's like, well, you're in the Navy. I said, but you and I are two different people and we have two different tolerances. And then when she first got in, she called me complaining. I said, Kristen, what did I tell you? Came back from Iraq, fine. Came back from Afghanistan and to this day won't talk to me. And we were thick as thieves. Even my husband was shocked. Why don't you talk to your sister? I'm like, she the one quit talking to me. I can't force her to talk to me.
That's odd.
After
After Afghanistan?
Yep. It was something about that one that she just quit talking to me. And
Wow.
I thought for years it was a jealousy thing because I never had to go over to those zones. But she did. But then she volunteered to go to both.
So guess what?
That's how I
Man,
felt about it. Yeah, because at that time, I think for both of those, it was other volunteers who lined up and she wanted the money and went. And now she tells my aunt late last year, early this year, I'm so proud of the things Tara achieved, but she won't call and tell me that.
damn, that's weird.
I know. We grew up close. I don't know what happened.
I know some funky stuff goes on in that. They have a different culture.
Oh, yeah. My dad suspects that she went through some stuff there. And because I'm Navy, it's harder for her to talk about it. Sometimes I
Well,
wonder if she was threatened over me because they may have found out she got a relative in the Navy. You just don't ever know in those spots.
yeah, you got to be careful. That's why I try to keep certain people's names out.
I kid you not, it might have been the 4th of July, 2011. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm like, yay, you're back. She avoided my messages, avoided my phone calls.
That's weird,
I
man.
know it made no sense. And before she came back, really, she started avoiding my messages on Facebook like I didn't exist to her. I'm like, what the heck did I do to you? And because I knew that I was nothing but nice to her, I'm like, you're going to have to get therapy and deal with this on your own because I didn't do nothing to you.
And your dad doesn't know either.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows?
He knows that we don't speak and he's
Well,
trying
that part.
and he's trying to keep the peace. But he knows things about that because I think she told him, but I told him that's okay. I don't need to know.
Damn, that's weird.
She speaks to my brother still, speak to my mom, my dad, my aunts, and everything. Just don't speak to me no more. And when she met my husband for the first time in 2016, she hugged him and acted like he was family, but told me I had gained a little too much weight.
That was You read between the lines there.
Yep. I'm like, she mad at me about something, and she's just not gonna come out and tell me what it is.
Man, I'm not physically scratching my head, but
It doesn't make any sense. And when she lived in Washington for a year before she moved here, she sent me a gift box for the first time in years. But we never interacted when she lived in Washington in 2022. She stayed in Seattle. I stayed over. But yeah, I did threaten her. Like, she come her ASS over here, I'm gonna call the cops. Because
really,
because she started acting funny and I didn't know. And I don't want that drama at my house. You know
wow.
you don't like me. Why would you move to Washington State?
So the Afghanistan banana stand twisted her head.
But then you know what I found out and why I let it go and don't hold that grudge, though she don't speak to me. Because when I talk to other people who came from Afghanistan, there's something about that place that people switch up when they come back home.
Really?
Yep. So it wasn't just her. Something about Fallujah, people just switch up.
That's interesting.
I'm like, you don't have to talk about it to me, because when I got out of the Navy, I left all that behind. Don't get me wrong, I'm proud of my service.
Mm-hmm.
But we ain't got to talk about that.
Right. My nephew was out there.
And see, he may have survived. Some people for tough and can deal with it.
Yeah. He was just as crazy as he's always been. So
Yeah,
I
so,
don't know.
yeah, you have to be like your nephew to take stuff like that. Because then, like in Iraq, right? I know about the camel spiders.
Yeah.
So you know about those.
Yeah.
Because that lady I was friends with when I first met you, she was in her
Yeah.
tent. They had to tell her, hey, stay still. She looked up and one of them gigantic things was descending towards her face. She ran out screaming, you send me back to the United States now.
Immediately.
I couldn't do army because they go do those field exercises and don't shower for days. I'm like, nah.
I would fit right in.
Yeah, you would like it. See, I don't. Mm-mm.
My brother brought back pictures when he was out in during the Gulf, and there's a
Did
picture of
he?
him kissing a camel in the mouth.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he did that.
He didn't go
Yeah.
stir crazy or nothing, did he?
My brother was never normal to begin.
Oh, okay. You have to be.
I mean,
because Krista was normal. You know what I mean?
he went in on the upper end of the age that you were allowed to join. And yeah, the sergeant was just curious to ask it, and he asked him, "Listen, what compelled you to join the army so late in your life?" I wanted to be like G.I. Joe. Needless to say that they had him pushing for a while after saying that.
I knew a lady that at the time I met her in boot camp, she was already a mother with teenage children.
Yeah.
But you'll be amazed at how sharp in mind she was. If her kids had kids early, it wouldn't shock me if she had at least 2 great grandkids right now.
Oh, really?
Yep. That's serious. But at that time in the 90s, that was the best way for you to make money. She got through boot camp, everything. She wasn't in her 40s, but she wasn't no spring. She was going towards not being a spring chicken anymore.
Okay. So she had ruffled feathers then. Oh, that's fine.
Very sharp in mind, came from a very tight-knit family, loved her children. I think she had 3.
Okay, so she got in there for the benefits.
Yep. And she admitted it too. the medical and dental to help her children.
That
You
I
don't pay
mean,
for that.
why would anybody volunteer to go into? I wouldn't volunteer to go into the unless there was some kind of benefit. Ikwawa, how's it going, brother?
Oh, going well.
I'm pronouncing your name right, am I?
You did it perfect.
Woo! There it is, Professor.
See, that's why I went in. Speaking of professor, I let it be known I'm here for that darn GI Bill. I didn't even know about a VA home loan, and people kept talking about it. Like, yeah, you can get a house 0 down because I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I'm serious. I only went for that GI Bill, and then it
Yeah.
changed over to the Chapter 33, and they let you get the option. And the Chapter 33 means that they pay you an allowance to go to school. I said, yeah, Washington expensive. Let's go.
What?
What?
Hey, Ikwawa, where you at?
Florida.
Ooh,
Brandon of Palm
man.
Beach is down there.
Yeah, Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon's from he's down in
And
yeah,
high
Palm
rent.
Beach. That's right. High rent, right? What city?
I don't want to disclose that. I'll just
Okay,
tell you
okay.
somewhere around Tampa.
Okay.
Okay.
So you get that Gulf heat, that Gulf moisture.
Oh yeah, it'll burn your back
Yeah.
if you ain't got on your shirt.
What? So let me ask you
Mm.
about your name, if I can, if it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Is that what nation is that from?
A Hebrew.
It's Hebrew?
Yes, sir.
Are you Judah?
Could be. I just know
Oh,
we
okay.
was mixed up in diaspora, so we say that we from Judah because Judah was the last one to leave.
Right.
You know, on the west coast of Africa, there was a settlement set up by our ancestors,
Right.
and the European people that through military conquest put on the map that we are Waida. That's who they was coming for.
Oh,
Mhm. So
Remember what I
all of the people,
told you about that. Go ahead. Sorry.
so all of the people in diaspora was a part of that kingdom. Now we don't know if we from Benjamin, Levi, or Judah specifically, or they caught some of the northern tribe and brought them in. But we do know that that's who they was coming for. But see, we know that the Arabs knew who each and
uh-huh.
every one of us was, and they was like main slave catchers. So they
Right.
knew, and they were hired by the European. So they knew who to get. So there's a strong chance that they specifically went after us, the tribe of Judah,
Right.
because there's a sister. She says that she's from the tribe of Benjamin, but they didn't get everybody. So
Okay. I'm under the impression that I'm from the tribe of Simeon.
You
could be,
really,
bruh.
but you are in it because you from the Dominican. What this is what he's saying.
Yeah.
The Jewish, what is it called? The Roman Jewish War, AD 700, the last time the Jews, our people, were in Jerusalem.
Hmm.
Because come on, those had to be black people. Ain't no way that you have white melanated skin. And this ain't no knock to white people. Because I told you I have nothing against no race of people
Hmm.
besides the Romans, and you can survive in that land for centuries. No way. Our people went in and hid in Africa because the Romans were chasing us, because Shemites could mix with Hamites. Now, some of us did mix with them. And then what happened is when they slaved, what that part of Africa was actually called Negro land. They sell you the narrative and the lie that they just went into Africa and just took black people. Nope, they took specific people from specific biblical tribes to scatter them throughout the earth. This is why you and I had that conversation about why I tell black Americans um, we can't got to be careful about attacking your people from the Dominican Republic, because all of us were put on the boats.
Right. And we got scattered.
We got scattered. That's what he's talking about. Owita is a city in what's now called Benin. The Bight of Benin is where they took us out of there, and sometimes up Senegal, the point of no return.
The point of no return. What a man. That has to be crazy. That has got to
Now
be
y'all was
crazy to be.
talking
Uh-huh.
about the military, right? My uncle
Right.
served in there. I don't want to
Okay.
disclose his name, but I'll tell you, I'm a Kennedy, a Negro Kennedy, and I'm not. There's different families of the Kennedys of Negroes. There's some in Sierra Leone. There's some in America still, Florida.
Okay.
My granddaddy, he was one on my dad's side, and my mother, there was an Ivory side. My grandmother told me that our great grandfather renamed themselves Ivory because they were taken from the Ivory Coast, and we know that's the west coast of Africa.
Yep.
Right.
So they do a lot of this stuff with this here color thing, but I'm gonna tell you, my uncle, when he went over there to fight, whatever that was, in
Uh-huh.
that Desert Storm.
Yeah.
So you were saying that I heard the
My
sister
brother.
saying someone in her family
Hmm.
was
Oh yeah, her sister. Her sister went to Afghanistan.
when my uncle came back, grandmother said that he act different. Now, I was always with my granddaddy. He died when I turned 2.
Okay.
So I wasn't really all the way aware with him. All his tapes and stuff he used to send back to grandmother VH1. I don't know how they got the camera, but
Hmm.
they used to send back tapes and stuff. And my uncle told me some horrible stuff happened over there. And if I disclose it, uh, the things that my uncle told me that they went through
Hmm.
it over there, he changed. They said my uncle was a very kind-hearted man. He still is, but if something changed,
There's something different now, right?
yes, if something changed. It ain't the boot camp, ain't nothing. Negroes go through boot camp everywhere. But
Yeah,
what I'm
every day,
talking about,
every day in this country.
hmm when we go to that, when you go over there and you see babies scrapped on their parents, and
Hmm.
and and a little baby got a M16, and when we go over there, we find out. See, on the news, they don't tell you the truth. And then a lot of people look at the Negroes that go, "Why y'all came over?" They don't know. Only thing they know is what's told. So, but when you go over there, then you see, oh, so this is what's going on. I'm gonna tell you one thing my uncle said, if I can.
Hmm.
He said that the Arabs told him all we. He said America. It woke him up because it was a brother. They would sleep, so they had times when one would sleep, the other one would stay up. This man went went to sleep when my uncle was supposed to rest. So this
Right.
Hamanaka went to sleep, and the man came up like I think a couple of Arabs holding M16s in front of their face. American, wake up. My uncle
What?
said he almost, with M16s pointing in their face. And the man said, American, wake up, with the gun pointing in their face.
Oh
And my
hell
uncle
no.
say, yeah, my uncle say, he said, I think he boo-booed in his britches, but he ain't
I
gonna
would
tell.
have.
Yep.
I would have.
But he said that the man said, American, we don't want to hurt you. We just want something to eat and drink.
Really?
Wow.
That's what they said. And my uncle, he, I'm telling you, and the things that my uncle told me that they experienced over there, that's why it's important you pass your history down.
Now that you mentioned that,
Hmm.
you're in Florida. What the hell is DeSantis doing with our history?
I don't know. I don't even worry about it no more. They weren't really teaching it anyway in
The
school.
Oh
thing with
shit.
DeSantis is I think he's a
Oh
hypocrite
shit.
given what happened to Italians here in the
Now
Yeah.
United
DeSantis is supposed to be, according to him, he's supposed to be mixed with Seminole. Now we know that the Seminoles is Negroes. That I don't know what they think a Seminole is. A Seminole is a runaway slave. That's what it means. So when other people say I'm a Seminole, listen, and they say, I ain't black, you can't be no Seminole then. Because a Seminole is a freedman. You can't be a Seminole if you ain't no freedman. That don't make sense. Either you from the Muskogee, you got the bloodline of the Muskogee Creek, which is some also, like a sister brought out, some Negroes that was
Hmm.
adopted inside of their tribe. But the indigenous Muskogee Creek people, they is the one that named us Seminoles, the Negroes that ran away from the plantation. So if you ran away from Arizona and you didn't meet the Muskogee, you still a Seminole because you ran away.
Right. But Yaquara, how are you so well informed, man? I'm bugging out because if you're from Florida, how are you so well informed?
uh, you got to break it down. Like they say in the book, break it down for dummies. Let me know what you mean.
Oh, um, because listen, Florida is not uh, the society as a whole is not so friendly to our people.
Oh no, they not. No, we don't
And
have no. I'm
uh-huh.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
We don't have no. We really don't have any. You know, they can charge you rent however they want. That's why I keep bringing up the rent. There's no. You know how other states have where they have a cap on the rent. In
Like rent
Florida,
control type of thing. Yeah.
exactly. They don't have that. And guess when they passed this bill to take away the rent control. Guess when they passed the bill? It was snowing in Florida. When it snowed, and
What?
you know it
So
don't.
it's recent?
No, sir. I think it was 1947. Sister, if you're aware of that.
I've heard of it.
So in 1947 or 46, it was snowing in Florida, bro. And that's when they decided to take the cap off of the rent. So you see what I'm
So
saying?
increases all over the place.
It ain't, bro. They say you supposed to. Okay, there is some
Right.
laws that they say they got to keep, but they could change your rent any given minute. Like, okay, let's say in
Damn.
the middle of a contract, right?
Yeah.
So let's say a landlord,
Arbitrarily, they could
uh,
just raise your rent.
right? All they got to do is give you a notice, and let's say the next month come up, boom, your rent is $2,000 now. You was paying $400. Now your rent is $2,000. Everybody start losing their place, and guess what they do? They destroy the old place that you probably had built up from your family line and all that, and then they build up a new place and charge somebody probably $5,000 a month,
Oh my
and they try
God.
to get everybody out of that area, just like they did in LA.
Oh man. Gentrification.
Hmm. So
They
that's what I think
gentrify
this
the
is
area.
for. That these rich old folk with a certain demographic want Florida for themselves. You know, they destroyed the Muskogee Creek, and the
Yep.
Spain sold Florida to them. That's how we lost that war. We didn't lose it by not fighting. You know,
Right.
we lost it
Damn,
by.
that's dirty, man. That's dirty.
Mhm.
And this country has it. This government has a history of doing so much dirt, um, making agreements and breaking the agreements, setting up contracts, breaking the contract, constantly,
Yes.
So
constantly.
our people been in the military, going over there fighting, and come back over here and taking hell. We
Acting
just take it.
strange.
Right. We go over there, we fight, we join the police and different things, whatever we can, whatever they allow us to do. And then when we come and we ain't got really no rights, it's really held upon whether people want to treat you like people supposed to be treated. So, you know, it's like you a fish in water. Nobody know what you trying to say. You know the fish mouth be moving.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like what we doing. Like we get online or we on TV. Some of us that got some type of care for themselves and for their people. And when you speak up for your people, it's like you talking to a wall. It's like a stony heart. You can't.
Hold
You
on. When you
can't. The
say we're
Bible
talking
say
to a wall, are you including our community too? That does that?
mm,
Yes.
some of our people do, but what I mean is that you know how the Bible say, "Don't pray to a stone."
Right.
I feel like when we talk to certain people, it's like you talking to that stone. It's like I feel like I feel like in myself it's a sin to talk to some of our people and these people that have authority, because it's like you praying to a stone asking this idol to do something. You know what I mean?
Right.
The sad thing is Elijah was a leader, but
Hmm.
uh Herod was the king.
Right. Got it. That's uh that's a damn good point. Herod was the king, but Elijah was the leader. The
But like I
leader.
told you about our conversation about money, because that's what this is really about.
Hmm.
See, this is why I don't trust the National Black Caucus, because I'm convinced that them folks are put in their place to pacify every other Negro in this country.
Got it. Well, the same has been said about Louis Farrakhan too.
You think so? Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, the same has been said. Uh, Throughout all this time that he's been in the position that he's been in for the Nation of Islam, he's never really done something comparable to what King or Malcolm did. Never. And there are plenty of reasons throughout the course of that time period that he could have stepped into that position, but he never did. He's a great orator,
Yep.
but outside of being a great orator, when it's really time to apply the appropriate pressure, he's nowhere to be seen. But he'll come back later and critique.
Like Al Sharpton.
Sharp. Yeah. Sharpen to
I s- I say this here though. Y'all know, did y'all know that the United States of America, this is what Elder Farrakhan was trying to do. I can tell y'all this. You remember Muammar Gaddafi? Elder Muammar
Yeah,
Gaddafi?
yeah.
Oh yeah, they unalive Tim. That whole thing was a setup because he was trying to help Africa, but keep going.
Mhm.
Okay. Not only that, Muammar Gaddafi, and this is what Elder Farrakhan was trying to go down there and collect. Muammar Gaddafi, he said he wanted to give us in Arabic, that's what language he used to speak. He wanted to
Mhm.
give African Americans $1 billion to start up business or whatever. You know how they give
Oh
away all this money everywhere.
yeah.
Hmm.
Elder
Can't have that
Farrakhan and
over
him.
here.
And so they was going to Senate. You know how grandma and them had their accounts and everything. They was going to divide it and whatever. But did you
Yep.
know that America blocked that right there?
Oh, I'm not
And they
surprised.
said they blocked it. They said that was reverse racist. So they
You
blocked
know
what
that
he
that
did.
that's the excuse that they're using now
Yep.
hmm
with the whole DEI thing. They're
And had
claiming that
them
that's
taken out.
reverse.
They had them taken out, and they had blocked Elder Farrakhan from being able to have any online presence. So during that time, they really didn't like Elder Farrakhan. They was trying to block him from having any online presence.
Yep.
You know, a lot of the people in and I found out when you look at the Kennedy paperwork,
Yep.
the Nation of Islam didn't kill themselves or kill their leaders. Who you think did it? Who you think locked up the
Uh,
Panthers?
J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI. That's what I think it is. But go ahead and school me.
Well,
Tell me if I'm wrong.
I mean, just look inside the Kennedy letters. Trump release. Who you think took him out?
Took who up?
Kennedy.
Oh, um,
That guy they said though. The one the guy they said.
Hey, uh, there's a lot of
Who?
evidence
What?
pointing to an
Okay. If
individual.
everything is so free, why Mrs. Asata Shakur is still got a status as what she got?
Oh,
Why did they
that,
make
that,
sure to
that
take out?
she's targeted.
Okay,
Uh,
now they know. They say that they want to be free and fair and all that. So if they knew what the Black Panthers really stood for, how come they still got her with that status? How come the
yeah,
Black Panthers was destroyed? You feel me?
they were targeted. They were targeted, and they
Illegal.
were for reasons that had nothing to do with their accusations.
Exactly.
Nothing to do with the accusations. Nothing.
Who you think put the crack in the hood? You think a
Oh,
Negro?
we could thank the
You think a Negro
CIA for that.
that was fighting over shoes that
Huh.
can't afford that couldn't hardly afford rent could get inside an airplane and fly and get
We
all that rock?
we could thank the CIA for that.
Okay, so who put all them M16s and Tommy guns or whatever they had inside of them trucks out that they left out there? Who did that? So who is the drug lord?
Well,
If you
well,
want to
that's
lock
a
up the
that
kingpin,
that's
who the
a damn
kingpin?
good question. That's a damn good question because I'll tell you right now, this phrase "war on drugs" that's been going on. What was it? The Rockefeller laws and all that good stuff. Listen, I asked. You know what? You probably check this out. Check out the question that I've asked some people as far as drugs in this country are concerned and the so-called drug war,
Yep.
great propaganda. But I sat down and I asked somebody one time, right after the Gulf War. I just asked the question because I did the math. The math wasn't mathing. We were able to send. Oh, Zeke is in the house. Oh, Zeke. Oh man, my bad. There it is. Zeke has some answers. There you go. And LSD. That's right. LSD. Well, before Zeke, you could come on up if you want to. I don't know if you see the. I'll put it up again. But the math wasn't mathing because I'm sitting here looking at all this news about all this news about Iraq at the time. Iraq had the fourth largest military force in the world. We're talking about people that have been warring with each other for thousands of years. Okay? Fourth largest military force in the world. Where do our drugs primarily come? Where does cocaine primarily come from? That was making a big hit. That was causing all this ruckus in our communities back in the 80s. Where was that coming from? They were coming from Latin American countries. Which ones? It's coming from Bolivia, Colombia,
Hey, Zeke.
from Bolivia, Colombia, and Peru, some of Ecuador, and it was being transported here. And there's all this talk about drugs on war on drugs. You're gonna tell me that we can go halfway around the world, send munitions, people, food, clothing, halfway around the world and destroy the fourth largest military force in the world within, what was it, 72 hours or something like that? Listen, the Colombian military, Peruvian military, Bolivian military, all those militaries, you can put them all together and they won't even come close to the military power that Iraq had at that time. when we went
For
out.
real?
Yeah, they ain't got shit. They ain't got shit. So you're telling me that we couldn't send our military down in there and just destroy anything associated with drug production? We couldn't do that?
Another
Why
thing,
not?
bro. What was raging around that time? What was Elder Martin Luther King and was talking about? So when you think about that, right? Why was they over there fighting? Was they fighting for the rock?
Talking about them poppy fields.
Uh-huh. You see what I'm saying? They talking about they
Oh, that was
fighting for
for
oil.
that was to dominate. Well, okay, so with Iraq, right? There are a couple of things going on with Iraq, right?
Rock. Yeah, rock. ROCK. Rock.
Right. So there's Iraq. So there's something going on with Iraq, which doesn't make any sense why you would take out Saddam, because the vacuum that it caused, and they knew that the vacuum that it caused created an incredible disruption in that whole area. Maybe they
You
wanted
know,
that. I don't know.
the crack in the ground and the rock. Crack
In the
in the
rock.
ground.
Yeah.
Rock. Okay. You see what I'm talking about? That's
Yeah.
what I think. That's what it's about because the poppy. What did it Miss Rim used to bury they dead with
The who?
the Egyptians? What the ancient Egyptians? What did they find on Tutankhamun and all them the carcasses that they used to bury their dead with to preserve their
See,
body?
I don't remember all that. I should know, but
Crack.
To preserve them?
Th-
They what do they?
That's where it come from. Crack. That's why they.
Ah.
So where did the crack come from? What they fighting over? What thing booming more than oil? How much
Well.
money? Okay, so how much money can you making everybody a rockhead?
Oh. Okay. I don't know if you're going in this direction, but let me piggyback off of what you're saying. I hope I'm understanding what you're saying
yeah.
by including this piece of historical information, which had to do with how China wound up imploding in the mid 1800s. Because you can do that. Maybe part of how our communities were controlled had to do with this particular tactic. I don't know. You might be able to tell me to. In the mid 1800s, British
Ask yourself
already
this:
had. Uh-huh.
who is the one that keep it afloat? Who spend all their money on everybody else, but don't spend it on each other? To like every other nation, they work hard to, they put their money in their banks, they tax each other, but we don't tax each other at all. We get taxed by everybody else. We so when you look at this situation, Negroes buy Michael Jordan shoes like they rock. Negroes
Right.
buy Tommy Hilfiger like that's a rock. And when the crack was going around, which one was higher? I can't tell. The clothes or the rock? You see what I'm saying?
We've already had that conversation on this
Yeah, we
channel
did.
many times. We already know that our own people were partly conditioned, and it's partly us doing it to ourselves, buying stuff that don't benefit us. We've gone down the leave Gucci alone, leave Cristal alone. Some black folks are just gonna do what's against their own best interest anyway. That just
Yeah.
is what it, and there's nothing to be done about that. That just is what it is at the end of the day. Sometimes we're just doing this stuff to ourselves. What
And
going back to Gaddafi, I want to go ahead right quick and piggyback off that.
yeah,
See, the reason the United States did not let Gaddafi give us this money, because particularly if you're a black man in this country, what would you have done with that money all realistically if you're smart?
if you're smart, you would have invested it. You would have started your own business.
If
If you're smart.
if you're smart and staying in this country.
Right.
Because I'm alluding to a different direct, but I'm glad you segued to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some
And
of them are
yes,
just gonna get their stuff and make a mass exodus. That's why I suspect they're not gonna give reparations.
back then maybe I don't know if they would do that now because more people have been exposed to the different nations in Africa and how they operate,
But
how it's
notice
not
I
how
quite.
personally wouldn't
everything.
move. I personally wouldn't leave the United States, but I
I mean,
think that's what they're thinking.
notice how everything started closing down and most sanctions and everything when a lot of our people started traveling though.
What Zeke said.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And Zeke, yes, the opioid wars. Yeah, I'm sorry to disrupt the chain we got going. I just wanted to go back real quick and just say that
Yeah.
yes, Zeke, the opioid wars. Understand, the Chinese Empress was not having it. Okay,
Is that
because
ZZ ZG?
yeah,
Yeah, I can't say her name. I know it's a
me
ZG or
either.
something. Okay, but go
That's why I
ahead.
just
Yeah.
say the Empress.
Damn person. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, it was. I'm imagining that it was obvious to her how it was impacting the economy in China because there was this explosion of opioid addiction. And when there's an explosion of that addiction, oh, many addictions, productivity goes down. Said no more. You come through with the silver like you always did. Uh, Otherwise, I don't want that stuff here. And the British government said, go F yourself. We're going to keep doing it. Said, oh, really? Okay. So they had the war. China kicked the British's butt. But then the British came 10 years later due to the technological advances in shipping. Now they're coming through with metal ships as opposed to wooden, and they were able to kick the Chinese butt, and that set up a whole big thing. But I imagine that this government learned from that, said, okay, maybe we don't allow it to get out of control throughout the entire nation, but in certain pockets, we can introduce the rock in certain pockets, and we keep certain pockets of the country under control. And we make it sound like we're on top of this thing because we got a war on drugs. Yeah, that's this war on drugs. Terrible. But it ain't stopped. And now who are they blaming? They're blaming Canada and Mexico, supposedly for, well, you know what? If we didn't have consumers, we wouldn't have a demand. There would be no reason to purchase. Yeah, am I still here?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. There's a some thing that we really have an issue with, and I think a lot of us get offended with this. But I
Mhm.
think that they really, uh, the things that are being put upon us have actually caused uh, some people get offended at this, but cause a lot of us to have really a mental impairment as a people. Cause when your hand don't move when something when something hurting your foot and wipe off the thing off your foot, it's
Mhm.
something wrong. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we supposed to be helping one another, and we like they made the circumstances that we in, like they say, environment survival. If you wipe your brother foot, they finna try to knock you out.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the things that set up this certain way because if I wipe your foot, you're gonna lose sustainability. So in order to be look at what happened to a lot of the people that tried to be of assistance. Remember the sister that was trying to help in the government was trying to help people. What did they say? She was stealing from her own bank account. What was the I
Oh,
forgot.
yeah. I don't remember the name,
Me either.
but
Look
I'll
at
tell
what
you,
they did to Nipsey Hussle, though.
yeah. And the most recent one that blew my mind, well, this is fairly recent. I don't know which one came first of the one that uh, Wawa is talking about. Uh, but what about these ladies in Georgia that were providing loans for people of our community and they shut them down?
For
Hmm.
real. What
Yeah,
is with
yeah.
what is with the state of Georgia these days? That's what I'm tripping on. And
Georgia's wilding
Florida
out.
for that matter. Both those states. And what's going on in both those states? I
Well,
heard about what you're
Georgia,
saying, Mr. Burns, because I
hmm
heard of that.
Georgia and
Yeah,
Florida is connected though. They used to be one place.
Yeah.
and they act similar.
hmm
They act similar. So
What's the
okay,
state right beside Georgia after you get out of Tallahassee? It's
Mississippi
a
No,
so
it's
or
all them
Alabama,
Alabama,
right? Yeah.
Alabama.
Alabama and Mississippi right up from there. So all of them
Hmm.
was one thing because that's who the Muskogee, that's what they was, and that was their setup. All this was what was last left before that 13 colony crap that came over here and took all them people land and put
Right.
and they a lot of them is on
Oh my
camps and
God.
stuff and people paid $5 to get in there with them
And
and
what
now
they did to the
everybody's
Cherokee, huh?
and now everybody saying they black now.
Yeah, everybody's
Think
black now.
about it. Think about it. Oh, I got an ancestor. She was black.
Yeah.
I got an ancestor. Okay. Okay.
What were you saying though, Mr. Burns? You had a point.
About what was I
No,
talking about?
you after those two, the women you talked about, you were about to say
Yeah,
something else.
that was incredible. These are women. It's their money. Okay, you got something called private equity, right?
Right?
When you have a business and somebody wants to invest in your business and you're not selling shares, but you make contracts with these people, legal binding contracts with these people that want to put into your business, and you can elect how you want to construct this contract between you two. Okay, they're allowed to have X amount of the profit or X amount of ownership, whatever the case is. The bottom line is this. Okay, okay.
Okay.
That's private equity. Private equity. Tons of people do that all the time before companies actually become publicly traded. You got tons of private equity firms coming in and putting up money. That's what these three black women were doing. And for some reason, not allowed.
Oh, that's that Ed Bloom because he came back and sued and tried to do that reverse discrimination nonsense.
That nonsense. That
Mm, mm,
nonsense.
mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it
Yeah.
up.
Ain't
I'll let
that's
you guys
right
chat.
now?
Well,
Ain't that so
yeah,
right
it's
off?
right now. That's crazy.
So
It's
it's
2025. What are you
that's how
doing?
you ain't that's how you pay you that's another form of paying taxes. And when you invest inside of a small business, you can write that off in your taxes.
Depending on how you're structured. Yeah, you can because it's an investment,
And that's also a sponsor, right?
huh?
So that's also a sponsor. How many of them got sponsors and them companies that's not sponsored? They
That's what I'm
sponsoring money.
saying. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
listen. You can go check uh, any state in the United States where that type of transaction occurs constantly. Nobody, you don't
Mm.
hear about this stuff. You don't. What? This is the first time I ever hear of that. That's. Listen, my mind was blown.
It
They
doesn't
had like that
shock
a
me.
husband. Is that a husband? That I could see if the husband say, "Oh, sweetheart, I don't want you to spend that money over there. Put that up. We
No,
got
it's
to
not
do
even
something else."
that. The
Right, but they ain't
government
even
did
married
that.
to the women. You know what I'm saying? It's like they treating
It's
our sisters like that. Y'all our ladies. You know what I mean? You do what we say. You can't. You don't have no mind of your own, woman.
I think
You
some
see?
black women sold us up the creek too
Mm-hmm.
in this
there it
system.
is.
And I don't
Found
mean to
it.
be, but I'm trying to say though, some of our own people were used to pacify us to keep us in a certain place. So we
Yeah.
can sit here and blame so-called power structure, but some of our people gave into that, made their millions, and kept it moving. And then
Bad
there's
money. The bad money you were talking about. There it is.
that's what I said. And then the thing about it is that some of our people just relish in their ignorance. And when you show them history, they clap back at you, even with evidence, because they'd rather be entertained than fix their issue.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
When awards in other communities are specifically given to Jews, specifically given to Hispanics, it's specifically given to white women, specifically given to Asians, but it's a problem when black people do it.
Yeah. Black women. Look at that. It says it right. Look. Federal Appeals Court blocks Georgia grant fund from giving awards exclusively to black women.
And that's another state I ain't got no use for right now. Them two twin boys went up in those, were found in those mountains. Oh, it's a murder suicide. My ass. Ain't no black people going to no sundown town willfully. Them boys I think, was kidnapped and put up in the mountains and took out as some type of sacrifice. But I'm gonna leave that alone.
Mm.
Zeke, funny. That's my family. My aunt told me straight out when I said you should read this book, and she made it sound like, oh, reading's a waste of time. And I looked at, okay, I ain't gonna help you then. In order for you to learn, you're gonna have to read some books. You can't believe
That's sad, man.
I mean, that's true story, Wawa. I told her just read this book, but I just don't have time. I just don't want to do that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, boo-boo, you want to stay behind.
Okay. Listen to me, because I'm always talking about finance and economics.
But see, the thing is, I didn't get upset about it, because if you choose to not educate yourself on who you really are, that's on you.
Listen, you're more than likely to engage with your enemies inappropriately to where you will harm yourself.
That's the problem. Yeah, thank you. I didn't know how to explain. Thank you. That's what that's a mic drop right there, because those people know that you don't know who you are. So when you're sitting up here having a conversation, your emotions gonna take over, and they're gonna make you look stupid because you don't want to read and learn.
I had somebody tell me, what was it?
Not just my aunt.
Late 80s. And the crazy part was that this was a family member from my father's side of the family. One of those people that was sent over to the Dominican Republic from Spain, one of them, right? Tells me, because he just felt like getting on my case because I embrace my blackness, right?
Oh, wow. The Dominican me no black. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this guy was beyond that.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
For real?
Yeah. What? This guy, listen, because his parents didn't mix. I obviously mixed. I'm mixed. But this was a member of my family from my father's side, from my grandmother's side, that these family members of mine, they were sent by the Spanish government to maintain a white population in the Dominican Republic because they felt like they were losing all control because everybody likes the chocolate. And so this one member of my family is telling me, hey, because whenever they got something negative to say about, I step up. So wait a minute, what are you talking about? He says, listen, let's be honest. You people, right? Talking about me, You people are only good for entertainment and sports and entertainment. That's it. What?
You people. Oh, wait, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
Mm.
He basically he's telling me I ain't part of the family. I'm my people,
So he's saying
right?
you was just for fun. They had y'all for fun.
Yeah, I was, yeah. And the only thing that I can achieve is to become entertainment. I could sing and dance and play sports. That's it. I can't amount to anything beyond that.
Mm.
So
Mm, mm,
what?
mm.
Okay, well, listen. And don't try to go down that laundry list of people of African descent that achieved phenomenal things that most people don't even know was created by a black person to begin with.
Potato
Don't go
chip,
down that list
peanut
because,
butter,
yeah,
the mask that firefighters wear so that they don't choke and die.
nah, nah, it wasn't a black person, it was a white person. That's what he was says. Yeah, really?
See,
Listen,
that's
this
how
is
they claim
documented.
all our they claim all our stuff. And then we don't get nothing. And it's they wealth passed down to like the heirs of who it's supposed to pass down to. So like Emerson, the Emerson battery,
Yep.
supposed to
Yeah.
pass down to the descendants of those who of their family. So if our people formed all these lands and stuff, why how come we can't get no percentage out of the sale of
Oh
the
no no no
fruits?
no no because that's reverse racism.
Oh wow, we invented the roller coaster too. See, I didn't know that.
Look,
I
I'm
didn't know
I'm
that.
I'm I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping in a truck that a section of it was created by a black person. Look at that.
And speaking of what Zeke said right quick about the darn vax, my
Yep.
aunt was trying to hint at the time, and I wish she'll never watch this because she won't get on YouTube and find this probably, that I couldn't even come to her house without wearing a mask 24/7 because I refused to get vax. At the time, I'm
Mm.
like, number one, I'm in Washington State. Number two is like, okay, boo boo. I mean, y'all
Okay.
really crazy. I mean, they got really, really mad about me about that vaccine. Like, I didn't research this stuff. They told you to stick that in you. And it's not like it was the real flu, like we had over 100 years to study this thing. They told y'all to take that and told you wasn't gonna be. You cannot sue Big Pharma in the United States.
Oh, you can try, but guess what? They got so much money that you'll tap out financially. You won't ever make it.
But see, the thing is that the Daily Mail, which they are a UK tabloid, ran a story proving that to this day, there are people still confined to their houses for taking that shot and taking
Mm.
the boosters because that made them worse off than just catching COVID and getting immune to it. I did it on purpose. Why? I was like, let me catch COVID. And I did it twice and I recovered from it.
Yeah, so did I.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
didn't vax. I didn't vax out.
I really think that's what killed my grandmother.
That
The
vaccine,
vaccine.
mine too. Yep, that vaccine, she was doing just fine until she took that vaccine. Next thing I know, my aunt calling me from Washington. You got to come to Alabama. She just passed away.
Mm.
Come down and
Mm.
get vaxxed.
Before that
And
vaccine, I mean, she
and what they
had
say.
dementia anyway, and then her cancer had just come back. But it
Kicked
And
in.
sped up. It sped up in less than a year after I said, yeah, it was that vaccine.
I wonder if they asked you when you came to the hospital, "Hey, ma'am, did you take your vaccine shot yet?"
There were hospitals that were doing that.
Oh yeah.
After your oh my boy, these people cold blooded boy.
They was crazy about that in
It's all about
Washington.
money.
Yep, it was
It's all about
it was
money.
it's a money grab and a societal conditioning grab.
And I
To,
think that's what a lot of people lack the understanding of. It's like they thinking of it, oh, that's my mother, that's my brother. No, they seeing you as a number.
Yes,
Yep.
you are nothing but a number in a set of numbers to make them wealthy and make them more numbers. You are just a number.
You're a dollar sign with legs. That's it.
That's all you are. Yep.
When they go to the farm, they milk the cow and they leave and go home.
Oh wow, I never heard it said like that. I like that though. That's a good T-shirt too.
Yeah,
Boo.
yeah. It is. Yeah. There it is. Social security number.
It's all made to
Because
track you, and I think it's conditioning to see who they can make do what while making money off of it. Why do you think
But
I on my video? Huh?
they call us the complaining crazy people that look at it for what it is. And people and the people know, like the people that they know, like, but they want to keep everybody else. They don't want people to. It's like we know, but a lot of us is trying to avoid it. It's comfortable, you know.
That's
It's
the
all
problem.
comfort.
That
That's a
comfort,
trap
you
right
and
there.
that's the problem. Comfort
trying to
versus them
cope.
folk. Yeah.
You know how when I was homeless before and I was trying to cope with being out there under that thing and knowing I had money to pay rent, but nobody wouldn't let me stay there because I had an eviction on my name that I should never had because the landlord that I was with,
How
somebody that was
crazy
hooked
is
on
that,
rock.
man? How
uh,
crazy is that?
So I was trying to cope. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try to live like Abraham in the Bible. I was trying to cope. And you get money. People are stealing your money at your pocket. You understand them. But at the same time, man, I want to eat too, bruh, you know. But you trying to cope. You see how I just cope with that?
Yep.
Yep.
And that's what people is doing. They feel powerless. But when you see a lot of people going the wrong way and you're trying to get them, you want everybody to go the other way, but you know that's where they're going. So you just try to find people that's on that pathway already and say, okay, I want maybe the other ones will get on this road over here. So it's not like we being racist. You helping the sisters open up their businesses. If y'all want the same thing, then y'all should put y'all money together and help who y'all
This
want to help.
that's why I told you about All Bomb Lady. I will buy her wine. I won't buy that weed because I ain't never smoked it. Her wine I'll buy. For this
Hmm.
to stop, you're just going to have to start shopping. Now, I will shop any business, but what I'm saying is it's not a radical thing to shop a small black business. Just do it. It ain't that
And I
difficult.
said it before, I'll say it again. Integration destroyed us financially.
It really did. Nobody, I believe that wholeheartedly.
We
They
don't
need
have
to
no
do a
When
whole
home
we
base.
film about black businesses before integration. I bet that sucker would stay packed.
I noticed too. Um, when I was growing up, it was a remnant of some of the businesses that was left over, I believe, in my opinion.
Yep.
And like a lot of them just evaporated because the more you become like the people, the power structure that don't want you to have nothing, the more you're going to abandon your post. And sister, you was in the military.
Yep.
You ain't supposed to abandon your post. You know that.
Shoot. I mean, I tried to help them. You have to understand my story, and I'm not trying to rationalize it. 90% of the time when I was bullied, it was black people. Now that don't black Americans, that don't mean all black Americans do that. Now, if I had a kid, the way the military runs now, I want to make enough money to where they never have to do that. Because we're really fighting for arms dealers to get paid. Let's just call that what it is. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and don't
Yeah.
nobody want to hear that, but that's just the harsh reality.
Sad
And
truth.
that was part of the argument that I had.
With
Well, at
that
that
dude.
point, it was no longer, yeah, but at that point, it was no longer an argument uh, because the uh, the suggestion was that we need to go find somebody to get into a war with so that we can improve the economy. because of the national debt. But that's when I stepped in again after my head got cooler, and I was talking about I asked who amongst the people that are on this live right now have studied modern monetary theory. It's very important. Under modern monetary theory,
I'm writing that down.
modern MMT, modern monetary theory. Under modern monetary theory, our debt is nowhere near as big of an issue as a lot of people claim it is.
Really?
Yes, really.
Elaborate on that, because it does
Okay.
seem a little sus.
Say
So because we have the ability to print money, our debts are really not that big of an issue because we can always print enough to satisfy our debt obligations. Now, understand that. So Zeke, you saw? Okay, so you saw a video on the subject. Okay, so Zeke, chime in and correct me if what I'm saying is any different from what you saw. Now, our debt isn't just our obligation to provide for our society. In other words, uh, our federal employees, how they get paid, and building up our infrastructure and paying for these things. We collect taxes, and we have other means of acquiring money, which is through the selling of bonds.
Right.
So with the bonds that we sell, that's also a debt obligation, and it's a huge one at that. It's something like 27 trillion or something. Bond obligations, okay? And they have terms, time limits that these different bonds, these different loans. So that's what it is. Bond is basically a loan. If you want to loan me money, you can't just lend me money like a bank would because there are regulations. You can't just that's loan sharking, okay? We don't want to go there. And as a result, oh man, I screwed up. So as a result, through the Securities and Exchange Commission, you do all the paperwork, whatever, da 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 da. If you're a corporation and if you're the federal government, you can have auctions where you issue bonds. You have the 1 week, the 1 month, the whatever number of weeks, whatever number, anything under a year, that's a treasury bill.
Right.
So within that year, you lend the government money, and then they pay it back with interest. And then you got the note, the treasury note, which is a bond also, but it's 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 7 year, and 10 year. So if you lend the government money for a period of 3 years, well, it's got 3 years and 3 years worth of time to be able to stack that money up to pay it back. And in the meantime, you're receiving money from something else. And we don't owe all that money back all in one shot at one time. So we have enough time to produce, have time to, and you got the 10-year, the 20-year bonds and the 30-year bonds. So there's time, there are intervals, and we're always having people lend the United States government money because the United States government happens to be the most trusted entity to store your money. So that money's always coming in provided that we always keep our credit rating high. The way we keep our credit rating high is by collecting taxes, which is crazy because why are you reducing a segment of the population that yields the greatest number of tax returns in terms of number, the highest amount? Not the highest percentage, but it's a big chunk. You want to reduce their obligation when you have these debt obligations that you don't want to mess up. You want to keep a high rating. But we print money whenever necessary. We print. So we're never out of money, and the US dollar is used more outside of the US than inside the US.
Right.
Because the US dollar has the greatest amount of credibility. All these countries outside of the US are trading and paying off their obligations in US dollars. And all that talk about the dollar going down, no, that ain't happening. Modern monetary theory. Check it out whenever you get a chance.
I will. I'm going to. I never even heard that.
Yeah. What is that, Zeke? I don't understand what that is. What does that mean?
I remember he was saying something about his parents ostracized him over the vax. I know how he feel because my dad swears up and down, I keep up with my vax still and la la la. Like I love
Who
you,
did
Pop.
that?
My dad.
Zeke?
Yeah, Zeke had said, remember he had said in
Oh.
the comments he was ostracized
Oh, okay, yeah.
by both his parents. It's like
Yeah.
people's family literally cut them off. It's like my
Yeah.
husband took the Johnson & Johnson shot. It's not like he decided he wanted a divorce over a shot.
Right.
Some people took that stuff too seriously. Hey, what happened to Wawa?
Wow. Iquaba? Isn't he there?
Yeah, Wawa. Yeah.
Oh no, he
Little
fell off. I don't know. Something happened.
Good night, Utah. But I got a video coming up, and I keep telling people with truckers, you got to be careful with your disrespect of them. Speaking of money, because if a lot of trucks stop moving, we're in trouble. It's over. It's over once a lot of trucks stop moving. And I got a bad feeling about that after Yellow Trucking, that's just the beginning.
Right now.
Oh, he said he'll be back.
Oh, okay. Right now, truckers are going through a pretty bad time.
Yep.
Because insurance rates have gone up.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
That's part of your cost of operation. So the insurance rates went up and went up substantially.
Wow.
And with the insurance companies alone, that's a serious problem because they want to jack up your rates for any stupid little thing, anything.
That's what I've heard, especially for truckers. They'll jack y'all's up in a minute.
Jack it.
Yep.
Let me tell you. You have your license. You have your license that can be penalized with points, and that gets reported to the insurance companies. Right. That'll jack up your rate. But we got this special little section. You see that move? See that move right there?
You crack me up.
Okay. So we got this special little section called the CSA, right? Commercial Safety, whatever the A stands for, because it's part of FMCSA anyway, but they separated CS and A, commercial safety, whatever. And that's a separate thing that gets reported to the insurance company. So you can get penalized on either side of that. So if
Wow.
your CSAs, yeah, if you, for example, if you go through a weigh station, you can get penalized on your CSA when it has nothing to do with a moving violation. Nothing to do with that.
That's ridiculous.
You might be going through, you might have popped, we got 18 tires. You might have blown one on the inside of one of the tandems in the back and not even know. There could have been debris on the road that could have caused that. Could have punctured the tire, flattened it out while you're driving. You don't even realize it. You
Right.
go into a weigh station, pull over, please. You got to flatten. Now it's up to the DOT agent. Some of them, a lot of them are cool. They'll tell you, listen, you got to get that tire repaired. You can't leave until you get that tire repaired. Of course, it costs double when somebody's got to come out and repair it at the weigh station.
Right.
Okay? And but you got to get it done right there. And they tell you, listen, we're going to give you a chance. Don't leave unless that tire is repaired. And we're going to check. You could take the risk and take off, wait for a few hours. And when they leave, you could leave, but you're taking a chance because they could be parked a little ways down, just waiting.
Oh wow.
Yeah. See, but that's not a moving. If they pull you over for that and you can't get it repaired within the time frame, that's not a moving violation. Yet, it is something that goes against your CSA score.
Wow. See, that is like a rock in a hard place. You just can't do nothing right. Good night.
And once the CSA score gets reported to the insurance company, guess what they do? They
Oh,
jack up your rate.
oh, good night.
So they got two places where they can snatch you up from as a commercial vehicle driver, commercial truck or trucking company. You, the driver, have your CSA score, and so does the company. The
Oh,
company gets hit. Yeah, the company gets hit with a much bigger points. They get hit with much bigger points than you do. They like triple. So if you, the driver, get hit off with some CSA points, the trucking company gets hit with triple that.
oh,
So if you got a bunch of drivers that are getting hit with they're doing okay. They're not speeding. They're not going through stop signs. They're not going through red lights. They're doing their thing as far as driving is concerned, responsibly. They're not following too close. They're not getting pulled over just to be discovered that they were driving fatigued. That's another one.
oh wow.
They're putting the cuffs on. They're taking you in. Driving fatigue is major.
Yeah.
Following too close is major.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, here we go. Look at what Zeke is saying. What? Don't forget to mention the bridge laws and tandem positions.
What is tandem positions?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. So, there are states that will not allow your tandems, the wheels in the trailer in the back, they won't allow you to set them too far back on your trailer.
Why?
Bridge laws. They want to make sure that as you cross these bridges, I think it has something to do with the weight distribution. I forget exactly what those crazy ass bridge laws are.
Oh.
Like they have to be 41 feet from the kingpin.
Oh.
Yeah. Others are 40 feet. Some are 43 feet. Some. Listen, it's a hassle
Sounds
because one state will allow you to have You can't. Okay, if tell me what it is, Zeke, on South Carolina. Listen, I, there are states where under no circumstance, if you got a 53-foot a trailer, no way you can travel with the tandems all the way to the back. It makes for a better ride, but if you get caught with your tandems all the way to the back, like in Connecticut, if you get caught with your tandems all the way to the back, there goes your CSA score.
Ugh.
It's not a moving violation, but for your CSA score, which the insurance companies do take into consideration and will jack up your rate because of that. California is 41 feet. Oregon is something like that. Yeah. So you have to know when you're crossing certain states, you have to know how far back those tires or those axles can be. And
Oh.
one state might one state might accept what you got going on back there right now, but the minute you cross into the next state, it might be different. So if you're planning your route, you got to make sure that you know what the bridge laws in every state that you're crossing. Oh, so it's like California then. South Carolina is like California. Hey, Nunu, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Glad to see you. So, yeah, you gotta. So basically, and this is what I try to tell every truck driver who's a company driver that wants to cross over into becoming an owner operator or getting their own authority. Maybe as a company driver, you want to get away from working for somebody else or taking orders from somebody else. You want to be your own boss. Well, guess what? You're not your own boss. You're not your own boss, because now you got two bosses that will kick your butt financially. That's the FMCSA or the DOT and the insurance companies. And they won't hesitate.
I keep forgetting Zeke is back to driving because I think he stopped doing it for a while, then went back.
Yeah, see what he says? From Chester, South Carolina to Lake Park, Georgia. I could also cross into Florida due to route. Now I have 3 states to worry about. Yeah, there you go. Oh, look at this colorful phrase.
They
The
are
DOT.
buttholes.
The DOT is a monster. The DOT will look. This is something that I was telling this young owner operator. Okay, they will shut your business down. They'll shut your business down.
They really do that?
Yes, they will shut the insurance. Listen, the insurance company. If you if you get in, if your insurance lapses, your authority is done. The thing that activates your authority is the insurance.
Okay.
If your insurance lapses for whatever reason, or and guess what? Maybe the insurance just doesn't like how you're stacking up points on the CSA, not on your license, but on your CSA. They can deny you insurance.
Like
So
I
you're-
said, it like backing y'all in a hole. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. See, look what Zeke says. Oh, that's another thing. Thank you, Zeke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's another thing. Make sure your permits are up to date. If you go through New York State, you better have what's called a HUT sticker, HUT,
Why?
because that's proof that you're paying uh, highway taxes.
Oh my lord! I mean, it just keeps getting worse.
But wait a minute. But wait a minute. That's separate. That's separate from the taxes for the road that you have to pay, which is called the IFTA, IFTA. You got to pay that quarterly. So you're paying a quarterly tax for the road, and on top of that, you got to pay extra if you're gonna run if you're gonna run through that state. Connecticut's got it, New York's got it, New Mexico's got it, Oregon is the worst, it's got it.
I can believe that.
Let me tell you about Oregon, right? So what they register is the truck, not the driver.
Yeah, it sounds
Whenever a truck
fancy.
Whenever a truck goes into Oregon, oh, Kentucky also has it. Whenever you go into Oregon, remember, you're paying IFTA. IFTA is a highway tax that you pay quarterly for all states. You got to, anytime you cross into a state, you got to report the miles that you drove in that state for that quarter so that you can be charged taxes for the miles that you crossed in every state that you crossed.
No, see, anybody got no time for that? You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
How you got time for all of that?
Well, check this out. I ain't got time for Oregon because let me tell you,
I wouldn't have time for it either.
I'm driving through Washington State.
Oh yeah, you're out in my territory.
I'm in your territory now. I got to go into Oregon. So I cross a bridge, which that river is the border.
Right.
So I cross into Oregon. The first thing you encounter is a way station, and you got to go in. In Oregon, way station, I guess, is open 24/7. You got to go in. So I go in. I know my weight is fine. My only concern is the bridge law. Are my tandems too far back? What's going on here? Because the guy's telling me, hey, you got to pull in. I got to pull in? What the hell? Yeah, I got to pull in. So I got to bring in, he didn't ask me to bring in any documents. So I come into the waiting area, and he's explaining to me, and he's a nice guy. He cut me a break. And I'm gonna tell you what it is right now. Oh yeah. Oh, and California too.
Oh, it's California don't
too,
shock me. California don't shock me. At Washington,
you got
shock me.
Yeah. California is even worse than the agriculture station in Florida.
Agriculture stations. What's the difference between
What? Oh my God! All right, listen. I'm gonna finish with Oregon, and then I'm gonna tell you about the agriculture stations. So the guy, he's a nice guy. We're having a conversation. Everything's cool. I think that conversation is why he gave me the break. Okay. So he tells me, listen, guy, according to the computer, you guys don't have the yearly permit to cross into Oregon and drive through Oregon. Oh man, you serious? Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm gonna cut you a break because had you come in with the morning team, yeah, you would have been leaving here with a $480 ticket just to start.
Oh my good.
Just to
Come
start.
on.
Yeah, you're not allowed to enter at all. You enter without that permit, $480 ticket.
Oh man, how are you
Wait a
making
second.
money?
No, it gets better. It gets better.
You call it better?
No, it gets better. Watch this. Now you got to contact the state of Oregon and get that permit for the year, right? Cool. So New Mexico with $12, you can run the whole year. New York State, is, I think, like, I don't know, $10 or something like that. You could run the whole year. I don't know how much Connecticut is because that's new. Kentucky, you just apply, and so long as you don't let it lapse, you're good. If it lapses, you got to pay $500 to reinstate, but you have to report every year on your anniversary. All right, cool. So no problem. All I got to do is contact the state of Oregon and get the permit for the year. No problem. I need a permit for. Oh yeah, no problem. $4,500. What?
Mm-mm.
$4,500.
Mm-mm.
And guess what?
Mm-mm.
That permit comes with a number. And if you ain't got that number, you can't fuel anywhere in the state of Oregon.
That's so lame. Trying to keep my mouth shut.
You cannot fuel anywhere in the state of Oregon if you ain't got that number, and you got to get that permit to get that number. I don't know if they changed it in that time because this was back in maybe 2018. I don't know if they changed it. I don't know if they give you ways of making incremental payments now.
That explains why when I was friends with that trucker, he said that he avoids the Pacific like the plague.
Like the plague. California.
Washington.
Everybody else, 70 miles per hour. A truck, 55 miles an hour speed limit. And they love giving us tickets in California.
Oh, yeah.
If you pick up a load in San Diego, which is the furthest point south, and you got to go up to Washington State or Oregon, you got to run that whole state from south to north at 55 miles an hour.
That's crazy, though.
It'll take you years to get to Oregon.
Yep.
It's outrageous. And they love giving us tickets. I've gone across I-10, I-8. Yeah, only 55 miles per hour, Zeke. That's the speed limit for trucks in all of California.
That explains why when I've gone through California, those trucks move slow. I used to get all pissed off, like, why are they
Everybody
all
does.
doing this? Now I know.
Illinois got some of the worst. Let me tell you something. Illinois got some of the worst weigh stations. They will ding you. A lot of those weigh stations, they won't cut you a break. If you come in through that weigh station and you got a flat, you're getting hit for the flat. Then you get it repaired. That's how they dubbed me on several occasions in Illinois. Virginia, their weigh stations are always open, but they will let you repair your stuff and give you a break. Don't get caught parked on a ramp. Don't get caught parked on an on-ramp, off-ramp, shoulder, because if you do and it ain't for an emergency, you're getting points on your license for that. Pennsylvania too.
Oh, good.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like you have to have a book to memorize all this crap.
Listen. Yeah, if you want to get around Florida, you're gonna because they don't charge income tax. You see all these red states that don't charge income, like Texas, Florida. If they don't charge income tax, they're gonna get their taxes some other way. They're either gonna jack up, they're either gonna jack up the property tax, or you're gonna have to go on tolls all over the place. There's tolls everywhere.
You sound like Voltron.
Oh yeah, I'm bowling up.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I can see you clear. You just sound like Voltron. Whoa, 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 whoa.
How about now? Is it better? Has it improved? Does this thing work?
No, you still sound robotic. It could just be on my end, but you sound like a robot.
I think it's the computer's hot again.
I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all scaring me with this truck and stuff. I just didn't know it was that serious. That's why people are quitting. It ain't worth trying to memorize all this mess.
It's very serious.
Oh, I get it now. Good night.
If you wanna get into this thing as a business, Yo, I got skills, kid. I'm transforming my voice. Has it gotten better?
No, you still sound like a robot. CK right for that.
Zeke blew me up, huh? Lord Destro. Wow. How do I get this to?
Is it possible that you're accidentally on two screens at once or something like that?
No, it's the heat.
You think so?
Yeah, it's heating
Oh.
up bad. I took the AC off for a minute.
Oh, okay. Then that's fine. We'll just have to deal with you being Voltron. That's okay.
Yeah. I understand, though.
I just can't with your industry. Do you understand that and the combination of regular people's disrespect is why people are leaving your industry? And I keep telling people, especially out here in the West where trucks don't want to come out here, when trucks stop moving, we're going to have a problem.
You read that?
Yeah, I'm reading it. My company has a book for each individual truck that gives the permits, guidebooks, and sometimes road atlas. Still a pain, though. Like people
They got me. They got me. Professor, they got me. Oh, shit.
Oh, my goodness. Rest in peace. He passed away last year.
I'm bringing him back. I'm bringing sexy back.
Oh, my stomach hurt. I got to stop.
Is it getting better? Oh, am I getting better?
You still sound robot. It's okay, though. We know it's the heat. The point is, y'all, your industry, it just like they set y'all up to fail.
Yeah.
Like it's y'all's fault, not the stupid people who be zooming past trucks like they're half crazy, and they'll do it outside of the peripheral so the truck can't see them.
And then they give you this.
Yeah, and then they give you the big old finger.
Hold on. Zeke made a request. Cobra!
You okay? You okay, Mr.
That killed me. Oh my God. I'm gonna get some more there. Cobra!
I gotta stop. My stomach hurt. I already had that burrito.
I heard you killing it.
Oh wait.
Yo, I heard you destroying that thing. I heard ching 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 ching. I said, damn. She's sword fighting? What the hell's going on back there?
Your voice returned.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's cooling off.
Oh yeah, that breaking in traffic. They done made me mad.
Oh, the brake checks? Oh, look. This idiot woman. She's an idiot.
Yeah.
She's got her daughter. She must have been in her early teens, sitting right there on the passenger side. She decides she wants to give me a brake check in traffic. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No. You're going to jeopardize the life of your daughter because you got angry because I couldn't move fast enough. We cannot move like that. We can't move like cars.
I'm trying to do what
IT and
Zeke is
cloud.
doing. Yep. Learn that IT stuff. I do it at work on the free stuff so that when I move to the classes, I have some idea. Because I wonder how you put up with it, Mr. Burns. I mean, as much as you do investments in the, and I understand why you left that industry, but like some people's disrespect can wear on you.
Let me tell you something. You go to some shippers and some receivers that treat you like dog meat,
Yep.
straight up dog meat.
Have you
I
ever
think
delivered to military bases?
yeah. As a matter of fact, the last one I was in was Camp Lejeune.
What was that like?
Uh,
Were they
it was
buttholes? I guess that's what I was
no,
asking.
no. I was trying not to laugh because I got this 19, 20-year-old taking it so seriously. Like what, man? Like I came to deliver it. And this guy acted like he had to get clearance from the president of the United States to let me in or something. It was that serious. So I called my nephew just to get a laugh out of the whole thing. He didn't do anything for me
Right.
except, make me laugh. Oh, okay,
Oh.
see? Sit at the shipper for 7 hours to get low. Yeah! I was just talking about that, Zeke. I was just talking about that. These clowns, I was talking to a broker. I got 1,000 miles left to get to my destination. According to my GPS, I'll be there at 2 in the morning. Oh, so you're fine for the 8 o'clock in the morning? No, I'm not. What do you mean? Your GPS says you're arriving at 2 in the morning. Yeah, but I got 1,000 miles to go. This truck is governed at 65 miles an hour. So the max that I'll be able to drive in 10 hours is 65 miles. But the average won't be 650 miles. But the average won't be 650 miles. You just got to remember, I got to accelerate, I got to decelerate, I go through traffic and things like that. So no, then I have to stop and get my 10-hour period, 10-hour, and then they want to penalize you.
Oh my goodness.
They calculate whatever the hell they're using to calculate the distance and the time you're supposed to arrive.
Right.
They're using Google Maps. Are you kidding me? We can't use Google Maps. We can't run through the streets that Google Maps tells you we can that suggests we should run. We can't. There are a lot of places with low clearances. There are a lot of roads that we're not authorized to run on because of our weight, because of the size of the roads. Yeah, they track us with a GPS, but they calculate the run with Google Maps. What are you kidding me? Can't do that. You got to have a truck GPS to calculate the route and thereby calculating how much time. You got to include the brakes. You got to include the fact that the load is being picked up by a certain hour. So, like, for example, if I'm in Atlanta or crossing Atlanta, if I'm picking up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm dead in the water. Because I'm picking up at 12. God knows how long it's going to take for them to load me. It could be an hour, it could be 30 minutes, it could be 2-3 hours, or like Zeke said, 7 hours. Guess what? After I leave that shipper and I got to cross Atlanta? Are you crazy? With the traffic that Atlanta has, listen, 75, 285, 85, 20, crossing Atlanta. Those aren't interstates. Those are inter-parking lots. That's what the hell they are. They're parking lots. Different speeds. The tablet, GPS, and Google Maps use different speeds.
That sucks.
Atlanta, Houston, Baton Rouge, Montgomery, New York, though, but New York, DC. Oh my God. Listen, bring your camping gear.
Why are those
gonna
a
drive
bad
to
idea?
What?
Why
If you're
are
driving through, why? The
Yeah.
traffic there is ridiculous. Listen, the traffic in those places that Zeke is mentioning are so bad. You can throw your vehicle in reverse and get to your destination faster. What?
Oh,
Listen,
goodness.
Professor. Listen. What?
It's
And
not
these
funny, it's
boys.
just ridiculous.
Oh, listen. Right. Right. Forget about LA. Forget about DC. Forget about New York. I got into a I'm gonna call it a debate. A debate. So is San Antonio, Zeke. What the hell? Zeke, so is San Antonio. San Antonio is a hot mess.
It is?
What? A hot mess. So I got into a debate with the owner of the company.
Wow, Houston.
They're out of
Okay.
Canada.
Right?
Yeah, don't forget San Antonio, Zeke. It's terrible. So, what are we talking about? So, the owner, I don't know how old the owner is,
Right.
but they've been in business, I think, since 2005. But you're a desk jockey. You never drove. I've been driving since 98. Not in Canada. I've been driving for 18 years straight. I've been delivering to grocery stores in areas of the country that drivers with 20 years of over-the-road experience refuse to go to. Refuse. And I was doing that for 18 years straight.
Oof.
Boston, nightmare. Providence,
I
Rhode
can
Island,
see. Providence?
Providence, Rhode Island.
That's crazy. I wouldn't. Providence?
Providence, nightmare. Tight streets.
Oh,
A lot of times
okay.
you gotta back into the docks from the street. There's no place to go inside the supermarket to turn around. None of that. You gotta back in off the street. You got people giving you the middle finger, honking their horns. You're trying to back up, make sure nobody walks behind your trailer, make sure a car don't creep up behind you. You're backing up. And you got to go through these tight streets. New York City, all 5 boroughs. Long Island, Passaic, New Jersey, Patterson, New Jersey, Jersey City, Weehawken, Hoboken. Mega
Okay.
tight. Baltimore, Philly.
I can see Baltimore. I bet them folks is rude.
Oh, yeah. And you got different clearances. You got to deliver. You got to go underneath the train, but you got to know where you can go underneath the train. Got to watch it because at the top part, they got these, along the columns, they got these curved brackets. And if you hug that bracket too close, you're going to shred the top corner of the trailer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oof.
There were stores that you were not allowed to be sent to unless you were trained. Okay, listen, I'm about to pat myself on the back because I was probably the only driver that never took the training that was sent to all these stores. Matter of fact, they used to send me to brand new stores that nobody had a clue. And we didn't have listen, when I was driving in these areas, there was no smartphone. There was no GPS.
Wow.
And I had to get in and out of those places. I had to learn my way around. Low bridges, whatever. I see all these young truckers with like 400,000 subscribers. I'm looking at them like, the hell do they know?
It's funny.
18 years of that. So this guy is on the phone with me. Hey, why is it taking you so long to get from point A to point? What? I said, what? You wanna have that discussion with me? You wanna have that discussion with me? Why? Because you're the owner of the company? You wanna have that discussion with me? Okay, let's go. Why? Yeah, because other drivers. No, stop right there. Don't come at me with that other driver stuff. That's lame. Can't use that. Let's do a comparative analysis of experiences, huh? You want to do that? Oh, you want to cut me off because you don't want to do that? Okay, well, I want to do it anyway. Listen, this is the deal. Okay, I've been doing. How long are you own this company? Okay, listen, I'm not even gonna let you answer because I already know the answer. Okay, that's rhetorical. But anyway, just keep in mind, you've been behind a desk all that time. I don't know you as a driver. I don't know anything about your driving experience, but it ain't gonna compare to mine. So I've been driving since '98. Anything having to do with the Eastern Corridor, you can't tell me nothing. I've been a local driver in the worst place you could possibly imagine. I've been an over-the-road driver. I've had my own authority. I've had people driving under my authority. And I dispatch my own drivers and myself. And I never had these problems. You know why? Because I got the experience. Now check this out. If you know the Eastern Corridor, if you got anybody coming out of Portland, Maine, because I know you guys are in Canada, so you guys have a driver in Portland, Maine, quite easy. Once you start going down 95 and you hit that border of New Hampshire and Boston, you better be ready for the traffic of your lifetime. Because if you plan on going south of Virginia and you got to do 95, listen, start preparing for having multiple birthdays in that truck while you're doing that one trip. Okay? That's how bad the traffic is.
Oh, wow.
That's how bad it is.
Oof.
You come down 95 from Portland, once you get to that borderline, New Hampshire and Massachusetts, it's a wrap. Traffic. Average speed from Boston to Richmond, Virginia, average speed, if you're lucky, 38 miles an hour.
Did you say 38?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. 38.
Sure did. I was proud. Average speed. Yes.
What you
Oh, so you got hazmat? If you're picking up hazmat loads, guess what? Do you know what that means, Professor?
What does that mean?
I guarantee you that the owner of this company probably doesn't even take that into consideration. He knows what it means, but when it comes to routing, he doesn't take that into consideration. When you're carrying a hazmat load, you're not allowed. There are tunnels and bridges that you are not allowed to cross or go through. So you got to take a longer route. You got to take a longer route. Are they factoring that in when they do your routing? Is the broker factoring that in? Is your dispatcher
Wow.
factoring that in? Is the
Wow.
owner of my company factoring that in? I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, thank you, Zeke. That's right. Parking. You can't just park anywhere. If you got an explosive load, stop eating the chili at Pilot. No, if you got an explosive load, there are a certain amount of feet that you have to park away from certain areas. You better have one of these, even if you don't use it. You're supposed to. You better have one of these.
The
You
heck
know what
is
that is,
that?
Professor?
No, I don't know
Yeah.
what the heck is that. A big ballpoint pen?
No, this is to check your prostate.
No, it's
It's gotta
not.
go. It's gotta go all the way in. No, this is to check your tires. You gotta make sure that they're properly inflated. All 18.
Ugh.
All 18.
Listening to y'all give me anxiety. I don't know how you deal with it. I'm just keeping it a buck.
I'm just saying, size don't matter. So look, Zeke normally does corrosives and flammables. Ah,
Oh,
corrosives and flammables.
mm-mm.
You know, for like 20 years, I ran without my hazmat. I had to get it now. They changed because I'm in the state of Florida. They changed it. Zeke, before you studied, went to the DMV, took the written, and they put it on your license. Now, Florida, you got to go through. I don't know if they're doing this anywhere else, but now you got to go through a course. You got to pay for a course. Then you got to go to the DMV with proof that you took the course, and then you got to take the written, and they find you that. Yeah, that's an air pressure gauge. Knows about it. Zeke knows about it. You got to have one. If you get pulled over by DOT and they're talking about tire pressure, ask me questions about that, whatever, they might ask to see that. And if you ain't got it, you got problems. You got problems. Yeah, Zeke, in Florida, you got to, and you got to pay for it. It ain't free. It cost me $100. I had to pay $100 to take this course, this online course. It was online, and it was weird too. It took me a while to understand the format. It was weird the way they had it formatted, but I did it when I took the course. And Professor, let me tell you, a lot of people fail that test because the way they pose the questions is weird sometimes. It's weird. They can confuse you. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just
Oh,
good.
okay.
Night out. I mean, y'all deal with a lot.
Oh,
Like, are you gonna
the
ever get
trucking
to
industry?
Yeah.
Look. Hey, listen. Listening to you guys talk about IT, I might just go that route.
Because I've been already studying it. I haven't done it. I just got study guides, but I'm gonna do that Udemy course thing eventually. Get on there that Zeke was telling me about to start learning that stuff
What? What course is that?
for AI.
Oh, snap. So you're on your way there, Zeke? Is that what it is?
Oh, he's doing the IT and cloud.
I'm gonna have to do that. The wife is complaining. I ain't spending enough time at home.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, just get that. This is my opinion. You can ask him. because we also talked to a guy called Revelator, the Spirit of Indifference, and he's working on his. I think the best way to start, because it's only $45 a month, unless you can finish it within that month, is the Google certifications.
Really? Google certifies you to do IT?
Yes. You don't, yeah. You don't, yeah, for under $100 a month. If you're smart
yeah?
and you get through it, yeah.
Well, I'm dumb, so might cost me a little more.
Yep. I ain't that smart at it either. That's why I ain't showed. That's why I'm just learning all of the terms like TensorFlow and things like that, and the Internet of Things.
I mean, I know how to get naked on OnlyFans.
No,
I don't know if
nobody
that counts.
cares. No, nobody asked
That
you
don't
about
count?
it. No, it does not. Yeah, take lots of notes. Once you learn
Well, that's
those
what I mean.
IT terms, yeah.
GCP.
Google Cloud. Yeah, Google. I think Google has its own cloud too.
Wow. I'm gonna have to do it. Yeah, Zeke, I'm on OnlyFans. You didn't know?
No, he's ignore him. He
Hey.
being silly.
Hey, Zeke. I did.
Ignore him.
I
He being
I, I,
silly.
I pole dance with my thongs on backwards.
No, he don't. No, he don't. He messing with you. No, he
It's
don't.
quite a sight.
What did I tell you about acting?
And I don't shave. I don't shave.
Oh, too much information, man. Come on.
AWS is Amazon?
Oh, he's doing Amazon. Are you doing Amazon, Zeke?
I gotta get on this.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Tell me, because I didn't know about Amazon's, Mr. Burns. I knew about Google cert, because I'm gonna take the Google cert. I just need to know how much the Amazon is. He said, oh,
Look, he says no thanks. He's talking about the Amazon. He ain't talking about my OnlyFans.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
So.
But
What?
he talking about?
How is that possible? Come on.
I want to know
it's
about
cheap.
I want to know about that AWS, because I didn't know you could do that through Amazon.
Well, I want a certain pay scale.
You get paid in IT.
What? No OnlyFans? Come on, Zeke. Damn, man. How am I gonna make the money to go do the IT? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Everybody loves me.
No, not that much though. Just
with my clothes on. That's how they love me. They love me with my
yes,
clothes on.
yes. But I didn't know your wife was getting tired of the over the road.
Yeah, she's tired of it. She wants me home.
Because then you can do your Solomon project in the daytime while the kids are in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the reason I secretly was hoping you get monetized, so that if you make enough and get sponsorships, you could just stay home.
Yeah, because I ain't making none of my OnlyFans.
Sure ain't. Nobody got time for that. Nope.
What you mean, sure ain't?
Sure ain't, boo boo. Just keeping it real.
Well, look.
On a serious note, the Google is like under $100 a month. Get on there, take the course, get the cert. I gotta do it myself, so I'm preaching to the choir. But yeah, I've been buying soap making stuff.
I got a little too excited on it.
But that AWS, I'm gonna have to look into how much. Let me look at Amazon. Let me see. Amazon IT certifications. I only looked into Microsoft, and I don't even remember how much their stuff cost. Because I want to get that MS365. I think they call it, or now they call it Copilot, I believe.
IT support, is that what it is? Hey, Zeke, is that what it is? IT support? Is that what it is, Professor? IT support?
Yeah.
Self-paced online program.
Yep.
Target audience. Males over 60, over 50, with OnlyFans pages. Oh,
No, that ain't
that's
what
it
it
right
said. No, that ain't what
Brother Zeke says long and strong, where y'all belong. Ah,
So he must be
ah.
taking the cloud practitioner then. Because no
Check it
experience
out.
is needed.
Check it out. Check it out, Zeke. The Google IT Support Professional Certificate is a program developed by Google and offered through platforms like Coursera.
Which is what I'm taking it through. Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
take it through
Coursera?
Coursera. Yes.
Okay. It's designed for beginners with
Yep.
no prior experience, aiming
Yep.
to provide job-ready skills for entry-level IT support positions.
Yep.
Okay. The program covers essential IT skills, including troubleshooting, customer care, networking, operating systems, system administration support. The learning format. The program is self-paced and emphasizes practical experience through hands-on labs and experience. The duration. It can be completed within 3 to 6 months with about 10 hours of study per week. The cost. Google IT Support Certificate costs $49 per month on Coursera after an initial 7-day free trial. Job prospects. Okay, here we go. Certificate is recognized by top employers in the IT industry. Google supports job placement for certificate holders. Okay, okay. Other Google career certificates. Google offers other career certificates in areas like cybersecurity. I like that.
Yeah, because
Cybersecurity, I like.
Yep, that's what I want to go into is the cybersecurity, because that's where you can get federal jobs.
Mhm. Data analytics, digital marketing, project management, and UX design. UX, what's that like for OnlyFans? I don't know. You
No,
can
see,
find information.
no, but
No?
you got issues.
I'm mistaken? Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
You can
you
find
mistaken.
information and enroll in Google IT Support Professional Certificate Program on Coursera. Okay, okay.
That's just the cheapest one that I know of that could actually get you like a job.
Brother Zeke is laying down the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Practice Exam. What is that? Cloud Practitioner is the gateway to
It all seems so hard though. That's the
it.
only thing.
This kind of often, so only buy courses from discount. So Zeke got a system. Zeke got a system. Uh, only buys courses on discount. That's what Zeke. I'm gonna have to look into this. I'm gonna tell my wife about this.
That's true, especially about Udemy. When they're having their sales, that's when you want to get on the courses, because when the price go back up, they have to hold to the sale it was on at the time.
So what is Udemy?
It's like a platform that teaches you stuff. What's crazy is I can actually go to Udemy and take a soap making course if I wanted to. You can take a lot of courses on Udemy.
Yeah.
They just prep you for a lot of things on Udemy.
Courses. Oh, so here it is. I found it. The one that Zeke is talking about. IT and software courses.
Yeah, because let's see, I haven't been to Udemy for a couple of years.
Look
Oh
right here. You see
wow.
it?
Yep. Them prices are up there though, son.
What?
You don't think that's high? Woo.
Building test AI agents. Oh, oh. Pole dancing. What?
No.
You don't see it?
Nope. Although I can believe somebody on Udemy teaches pole dance, and I wouldn't put it past them. I'm being honest, for real.
Oh man. Yeah, you're probably right.
But don't do it though.
No, what?
No, you heard me.
Hold on. Show you something. So this is my profile pic of my OnlyFans.
You got issues. You stop. You stop. You play too
Uh,
well. You stop.
They said I suffer from Nasitol. You're laughing. You know what that is?
No.
You don't know what Nasitol is?
No, I've never heard of it.
That's when you got no ass at all.
No.
You know, I don't care. So what if I got a lot of hair and no butt?
Nobody cares. What are you
That's
talking
not,
about?
that's not going to interfere with my learning IT.
But I'm telling you though, that because you got your laptop with you, so when you're resting,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. You can be taking those classes. And your son is smart. He can help you too.
He's too busy laughing at me.
He don't laugh at you all the time.
All right, 98% of the time.
Oh, okay.
My 12-year-old is becoming a challenge right now.
Oh, he would. I knew he was going to.
Oh, Z got a new one. Oh, I'm going to use this. I got a booty do. That's what I got. My stomach stick out more than my booty do. Man,
Oh, y'all got my stomach hurting. I can't.
I got a booty do. Man, this.
But the point is, you got to do something, because sooner or later, your little one going to start kindergarten. And don't you want to be there?
She's already in school.
Oh, I know she's in school because she's 3, so she's already started. But she's not in kindergarten, but she's in school.
She's not afraid of me.
I know. You've told me.
Just the other day when I was home, I offered to slap her in the face. Now she doesn't protest. She usually just puts her hand up and protests. Now she just laughs and sticks her face out. Ha 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 ha. Like it's funny. I catch her doing something dumb. This girl climbs everywhere. We got to put the chairs on top of the desk, on top of the kitchen table.
Zeke is right. Because you know why I took a vacation. I don't go back to work until this coming Thursday, is because I needed to get on that Google Cloud. The object of the game was to sell some stuff, which I'm going to later on after I get off this live meet with a friend of mine up here down the street. then Monday clean my house, and then Tuesday start on that cert. Or maybe, yeah, tomorrow night start it, or tonight even.
Listen, when I get off this live, I'm gonna start doing some squats. Straight up.
Good.
I gotta fix that booty, dude.
You got issues. You ain't gonna let that go.
I ain't letting it go. I'm recording. As a matter of fact, when I start doing my IT, somehow I'm gonna write a script so that the word pops up on people's screens. Booty dude.
What are you going to? What's your favorite part of IT?
Mine?
Not yet. I don't have my website up yet. I gotta start making it. Then but you right. I gotta get on that website. I gotta go, Daddy. I just need to set it up. So are you into just the IT itself? Or are you into Chat GPT?
I want cybersecurity.
See, I'm like you. That's the primary reason I want to do it, because that's where the money, I think, is gonna be at in the future.
That's gonna be crucial too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's where the jobs are on USA Jobs, the official government site. When I'm ready to switch careers, hey, I got this cert. I'm ready to get up out of this contract specialist. Time to go. And now they're talking about. Yep, now they're trying to AI our job to get rid of people. I'm like, I'm going cybersecurity, boo-boo.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, Zeke, I'm working on that, though. I do have that GoDaddy. I just need to set it up. Machine learning, yes. And until you said it, I didn't remember, Mr. Burns, but I prefer to go into that cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity, I think that's the way to go.
Yep, that's where the money gonna be at, in my opinion.
Oh, so Zeke is a firm believer. Even without the discounts, these certs are worth it. Worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So wait a minute. We saw the prices on the AWS, right? We thought it was like, but if you purchase that course, can you access that course forevermore?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because for Google, yeah, you're gonna pay the monthly, but in the time it takes you to complete that course, if they average it out to see if it's comparable to the price that you're paying.
Now, when I did my one Google course, project management, that I never finished, I had one more slide and I got to go back through it and finish it eventually. You're going to get some printouts, right, that you can save to PDF. So the notes themselves, they create note sheets for you. So you can always go back and read them. I know that for a fact about Google. Amazon, I'm not too sure. But I was just giving you the Google option because $49 a month is a very reasonable.
That's a do. Price. That's a do. And you don't have to pay it all in one shot.
Yep. You pay it in increments.
Okay, so Zeke still has access to them.
Yeah.
Python. Man. Am I gonna have to learn those languages? Python and all the other ones?
Cybersecurity, yeah, I'm guessing it all depends. That's what's the name of that book? Because Revelator had me buy a book on IT and I read that sucker in 2 days. I cannot think. Let me go back to my Amazon right quick and go find the name of it on my purchase history, still see if it's still there. Because a list of those terms will be right in that book. I got to go see if I can find it. Stop moving slow, Amazon. You're going to make me mad.
Don't let them do that.
I know, right?
Imagine my computer or my OnlyFans page working slow.
No, nobody. See? Now, we done segued from that.
What?
Yeah. Nobody want to know about that, Mr. Burns. Let me see if I can find it.
Hey, Zeke, elaborate on that. Going from coding to cloud. Elaborate on that.
Yeah, because I don't know the difference either. Okay, I found it. The book you want, Mr. Burns, is called AI for Beginners, Made Easy by Alex Bennett. Let me write that in here.
Man, you're beating that typewriter up. What?
The IT terms are there, and there's even practice exercises that you can sign up with and play like you're like Chat GPT, like you're having a bot do some stuff for you. My job does what's called LinkedIn Learning, so I get access to older stuff for free. That's why I haven't been paying for it yet, but I am going to pay for that Google cert though. But that's the name of the book, so you can save it after this live. I typed it in there for you. He gives you the terminology.
Big picture of me.
I bet you got your house set up for the Internet of Things, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't even know what I mean by that.
The Internet of Things, yeah.
Oh.
That's an old term. Oh, old for me. Internet of Things, yeah. Hey, chill out.
Why are you quiet, Mr. Burns?
Oh, I'm on my new phone. I was going to call somebody. My new phone.
Oh, okay. Are you ready to end the live?
I mean, I can end it now. Yeah.
Yep, I was
I just
about to
wanted
go
to show off my new phone.
Yep. It don't look new to me, but okay.
No, you know what? This is a tablet, and I remember one day I was at work, and I said, "That's my new phone," and everybody was like, "Wow, it's so big." I used to hear that. No, but they said, "Wow, it's so big," and I totally clowned them. It was a tablet, not a phone. Special accessories that I've had there for 14 years. What the heck? No, I'm definitely gonna look into. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want me to edit, it's a good time.
Yeah.
3.5 hours.
Yeah. So go ahead and look into all that IT stuff. Because like I said, I've been practicing at work on my downtime. So yeah.
Oh, look, see?
What did he say?
Look, wow, it's so big. That's what she said. Oh, I'm back to Destro. Am I?
Yep, you're back to Voltron. Yep.
Hold on, what was I supposed to say? See, what was I supposed to say? Cobra!
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get on off.
Martin Luther Fang. That's his OnlyFans name. All right, y'all. Hey, thanks everybody that came through. Love, peace, hair grease. You already know. Stay fresh. Keep it white.
Yep. Good night, y'all. Bye.
Peace.